Hello, hi guys. Welcome back to the Football Showdown channel. We are back with another stream with a lot more interesting topics to talk about, especially with the kind of week that Arsenal has had on and off the field, the kind of football that is being played around the world, Bundesliga, La Liga, and the Premier League, obviously. Club football being back with a huge news for all football fans out there. But sometimes people fall in love with a sport and forget that that is not life. And sometimes to help you with love in actual life, Arsenal has come up with their own dating show. If you want to find love in a dating show with Arsenal's help, you can definitely join their program. You obviously have to be a gunner. They have it in their own way to show that you can find love in an Arsenal stadium. But speaking of love and lover boys, let's call upon today's guest, Parth. Hey Parth, how are
Hello,
you?
hello, hello. I'm doing great.
You're doing great, even after yesterday.
Yeah.
That's something. Oh man, can one proper game week? Is it impossible for Arsenal to just have one proper game week? I don't know, man.
Uh,
It's just sad, but yeah, it is what it is. What can we do?
the footballing gods are testing us. They test
I,
their previous soldiers. I know that.
oh, big words, big words. But yeah, it is what it is. You know what? We'll just start with things that has happened today. I mean, the latest news is that KDB will be exiting Premier League football. European football is what everyone assumed that he's going to be done with. He's been a great servant, not just for Man City, but for the entire Premier League, for the entire Premier League situation as well. So, any favorite moments that you want to share about KDB?
Um, I can't single out a specific moment. It's just been his career at Manchester City. If Manchester City is defined by Pep Guardiola and his managerial prowess, it is Kevin De Bruyne who's been at the forefront of everything good that City has achieved, and
Mm-hmm.
he's established himself as a Premier League great. And I won't say he's leaving on a high, but certainly uh, it is a journey that should have come to an end and is coming to an end. But a player like this will never be forgotten. He tormented every team he faced, and to rack up those kind of numbers, to be that well rounded and to perform at the highest level in a City team which already has superstars, it takes a lot. And incredible footballer, incredible career, man. I have nothing but respect for him.
So I agree. My favorite moment, not favorite moment, I would say, but a defining moment was when Man City didn't have a striker, and yet they won with a midfield, and KDB was one of the key members in that, right?
Yeah,
And also, some say the last season when he came on against Newcastle, that was another career defining moment. Uh,
100%.
for me, it was back in like 22-23 season. Newcastle were 3 goals up. KDB comes and scores a free kick, and since then, and suddenly
Yeah,
changes the game. So, uh, all his contributions from the midfield being, being that key player for Man City, in spite of many players coming in, going out, like how you said, many stars coming in and all that. He's been a
yeah.
great servant for football as well. Um, Kind of wished that he left 3 or 4 seasons back, but yeah, it is what it is. It's football,
you
always
know
defined by
he,
great
he's
players.
one of those players
Hmm.
who you're not jealous about. You don't envy somebody like a Kevin De Bruyne. All you have, you can't even hate him, because his footballing ability is at such a high level that you
Hmm.
can only respect it and
Hmm.
say, all right, we succumb to a KDB masterclass. So yeah, that's how
Mm-hmm.
his career has been, which is incredible even for a rival to say.
True, true. The common notion regarding football is that if you are a left footer, you're naturally very aesthetically pleasing to watch, right? KDB is an example of why a right footer is also very could be an
Mhm.
aesthetically nice player.
Yep.
Isco is another player that you can't hate. I mean, at least I can't hate, and KDB is another player that I can't hate. For FPL people as well, he's been a great servant. Let's not lie there. Yeah, the last 2 seasons he's not been so great because of his injuries, but for FPL, Mohamed Salah, KDB, all timers. Let's take
100%. Yeah.
in let's take in a comment. Where would you rank King Kevin in Premier League best midfielders? For me, number one because I have not watched. You know what? You
I
couldn't be more honest. You couldn't be more.
Yep, yep. I won't beat around the bush around this topic. I would have the same stance. I mean,
Honest.
I wasn't even born where when the greatest midfielders ever to have graced the Premier League used to play football, and
Yeah.
when Gerrard Lampard were operating at their peak, I didn't watch them. So yeah, I've grown up
Hmm.
watching the KDBs and the Mohamed Salah. So for me to put somebody else over them
Hmm.
uh,
Hmm.
won't be fair, and it would be naive of me to say that these are the best players when I haven't seen others. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. We would be like any other, wannabe TikTokers who like make up
Yeah,
random
yeah,
things.
yeah, hundred
Oh, sure, I've
percent.
seen these highlights, that highlights. I mean, bro. Dude. But you know what? Actually, I would put Ozil in a conversation regarding one of the best Premier League midfielders to grace the Premier League. But the fact that he's not won a title at the same time, his downfall has been so low. Uh,
Yeah,
Arsenal not winning a title has not come down to only Ozil because he had strikers like Welbeck or Giroud,
Giroud.
who were extremely wasteful. And
Yeah,
he didn't have a team around that you could score goals like how KDB had Sterling or Aguero or Sane for that reason. So, um, in term, we should talk facts. KDB is one of the all-timers, if not the best Premier League
yeah,
midfielder that I have watched as well.
for sure.
Uh, Hereby, we will definitely come to this. I mean, you know what? We can definitely talk about a few words regarding this, right? Nobody in their right mind thought that they will get banned if anything is fined, right? We know UEFA, we know Madrid. It's kind of obvious that nothing's
Yep.
going to happen here. So, City trying to find a replacement for KDB shows that Foden has been over.
Yeah, it
Uh,
isn't even a question that needs to be thought about.
Last season when he won the Premier League Player of the Season, that itself kind of showed, right? Um, you know what? Since we are on the topic of Man City, we'll bring this up here, right? Uh, yeah, this has been Man City against Leicester. Light works, let's be honest,
Yeah,
but it kind of showed the soft side of football. You could earn $10 per week. You could earn $110 million a week, but every time the mental aspect is very very important, and that's what happened here. I mean, not happened here. This is something that we should all be like watchful of when we are like abusing certain players or like criticizing certain players. There's always a threshold between criticizing and abusing. I hope
yeah,
people don't, go ahead and like abuse. But this is a nice thing to say after 25 years. I mean, his brother passed away 25 years, and on that eve, on that day, he comes back and scores his goal. Agreed that it has been after 16 months, but let's not take away the wholesome side of things because it's easy to just look back and like after 16 months, you're freaking scoring what's it. But
yeah.
yeah, it is what it is. Did you get to watch the game?
No, I wasn't able to watch it. Arsenal were playing then, and this was the match that I was least interested about.
True, true. I did watch till they scored the two goals, and I was like, you know what? There's no points. There's no point watching. But yeah, it is what it is. Yeah, we have already have comments. I guess that is good signs for the channel. We're getting comments right as soon as we start, in spite of IPL. For me, Salah and Kevin, best players in the Premier League. I mean, they're two different. Okay, in terms of Premier League, yeah. I thought you was talking about this thing midfielders, right? That's why we didn't talk about Salah. But yeah, fair.
Mhm.
Kivior versus Mbappe, and we need time for Martinelli is better than Rafinha. Take that. Anyways, uh, now, bro, we were literally talking about you in the group chat. We're like we're one of these people who kind of wait for the stream to start so that he can like talk to us. Very very happy for your presence on the channel. Hello, guys. Sujit first explained the Lewis Kelly.
What
Okay.
was it?
So, uh, so like how Gary said here, told here, na? Like UEFA banned, I mean, didn't ban them, but fined them for the kind of celebrations that these guys were having.
Yeah,
I said no. So Arna was like, Arna was like, I hope my MLS does the same kind of celebrations to show character, and he likes such players. What I to that I responded by saying that such celebrations are not generally accepted. We know why it was accepted because a certain team and certain organization has bias or like some affinity towards
yeah.
it. That is why it's still allowed. Because oh shit, we just got another breaking news. Hummels retires from professional football.
Ooh.
Yeah. So that has been another breaking news. Coming back to what happened. So I was like, if MLS does the same thing, he will get banned. Because remember Simeone, I think, Simeone, like few years back, he did the same celebration. I think it was back in 2018-19 season, if I'm not wrong, or
Hmm.
the 1920 season. He did the same celebration and he got banned. Already, Arsenal's firepower or squad depth is like at its least, especially regarding a defense. We do not want
Yeah,
that situation, right? So that is what I've been trying to tell. Showing character is one thing. Being reckless in spite of knowing what is happening is another thing, right? I know. Since UEFA didn't ban them, we should also do that, and we won't get banned. We know that is not the case. We all, it's an open secret at this point. So yeah. Uh, Kevin De Bruyne's long shot goals absolutely beautiful to watch, and De Bruyne scored against us in the uh,
uh,
when they won
in
Premier League.
the red and black away kit, right? Yeah, yeah, De Bruyne scored. Yeah, yeah, it was a long shot. Yeah, uh, when City won like 4-1, I think it was that game.
Even the long range he scored in the treble winning season, where they won their this thing UCL for the first time. The
Hmm.
game, that was at Bernabeu, I think. Vinny and KDB scored bangers.
Yeah,
That
yeah,
might be
yeah,
like,
it was the
yeah.
same game, I think.
Okay, okay. Maybe.
Yeah,
I think we're talking the same game, but yeah. No, I hope I answered your question. But yeah, actually, small request to you guys. Uh, for almost 2 3 weeks, the channel has been stagnated in that 538, 540 range. If you have your friends and family, do keep sharing our channel
yeah.
so that we try and hit the 600 mark as soon as possible. Then 700 soon, 1 million. But yeah, small starts, big dreams. That's all we've been waiting for. Away like when, yeah, exactly. That's what we've been talking about. But yeah, it is it is nice that he's done with Premier League football. Let's hope he goes somewhere else and does it. Some say Saudi, some say MLS. I hope it is Saudi
He
because
can go anywhere.
hmm, hmm,
He
hmm.
can just secure a bag for himself and yeah, call it a day.
Mm-hmm. But calling a day on their former teams, Anthony Elanga, man. I mean, this bro has been on fire. Like, we've had conversations in group chats. How did Man City and how did Manchester United let go of Anthony Elanga?
Hmm.
I think he went what 2 seasons back.
Yeah.
2 seasons back, right? Remember that time before Garnacho was even Garnacho, whatever. This guy was the one who did so like under Ole, under even Eric Ten Hag, right? Pressing, falling back, dribbling, running. He had everything, and he was let go, and I was like, "Are you serious?" Like, I'm an Arsenal fan, but when there's good talent, you genuinely support good talent, right? So he was one of those examples that didn't make sense to me. Like, how did they let go of him? But yeah, did he catch this game?
Yeah, I actually rewatched the game.
Hmm.
United wasn't even that bad. It's just that
True.
they've got attackers who I won't say are one trick pony, but they are limited in what they do.
Hmm.
So like Garnacho had multiple chances in the game, and all
Hmm.
he did
Hmm.
was cut inside, shoot, and the shots were sixers. Not even sixers; they deserve to be called 12 runs. They were that haywire. And then, again, my only problem with Manchester United and the way they attack is Bruno Fernandes. And I don't intend to hate on that guy because whatever he does works for United and works for the way they attack. But the issues that get highlighted with Bruno being the main creator is that they lack any other source of creativity, which means they have to play long balls, which means Bruno has to play his Hollywood passes, which means they lose possession of the ball, which means they aren't ready to face the counter attacks, which means their midfielders who are already slow can't catch up, and this leads to multiple counter attacking scenarios, which was the case against Nottingham Forest. And credit to Delict, Euro, and Mazraoui, who did defend well. But then again, it is these moments that cost United. So having Bruno Fernandes is a double-edged sword where he can give you all the goals, but at a point they are so reliant on him that he is the reason why they lose possession of the ball and concede the chances they concede. Otherwise, I still feel that United is a team under progress, and it is a team still learning the art of playing five at the back with the players who are not suited to play that formation. But
Right, right.
yeah, they were against a good team that defends well. So that's all I can say, man. United isn't as bad as people make them out to be, but they're not good. They're not good.
That is the important part. They're not good.
Yeah,
We'll take few comments. Nottingham Forest having a season of the teams. For the
indeed.
first time ever, I was hoping that United win so that the pressure on Arsenal is not that much. But yeah,
Yeah,
Forest when did their number of all people, even Anthony Elanga, man, the way Anthony Elanga ran from deep, ran through Garnacho to the floor. What was Mazraoui doing? Like for all
they were hesitant to make a challenge. I have no idea why. I mean,
exactly.
are they too scared to get carded, or they're
Hmm.
too scared that they concede a penalty? I don't know what it is, but they were just backtracking when he was running
Hmm.
at them full speed,
Hmm. Hmm.
which
Hmm.
doesn't make sense when you've got a player like Elanga
Hmm.
who's pacey and who's in good nick. You don't
Hmm.
allow him the space he wants. That is
Exactly.
exactly what
Hmm.
they were doing.
Hmm. Hmm. Yo, 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 bro, be safe. Come soon. Um, Sanchez. Okay, Sanchez is part. At one point this season, told me that Garnacho is better.
Hold on. That was when Martinelli stocks were at an all-time low and Garnacho's were at an all-time high. Garnacho was playing good football and he was providing assists and scoring goals for United. So I made that comment at that point. I still said that Martinelli is a better footballer than Garnacho, a much better footballer. But at this moment, at that certain moment, Martinelli was shitting the pitch, and Garnacho wasn't. So that was my only reason.
I'm still after what we will come to the Martinelli part of things soon. We'll come to the Martinelli, but yeah, Sanchez. Remember during when we talk about Arsenal bit, you can, please. Deepak, hey bro, this guy is my friend from school, man. Like, I hope you're doing
Oh,
well, Deepak. Hello, hello, how are you? I think first time or second time on this channel. Welcome. De Bruyne link up with Mr. CR7 and Al Nasser. We will be there. I mean, uh, what do you want me to say? Garnacho for 60 million would be insane, man. Such an ass, man. You know what? When Chelsea said that they want Garnacho, I'm like, you already have Sancho. What are you
no,
trying to do
I
with Garnacho?
I even said it on stream when this news was circulating. I was the first person who said that United should be running away with the 70 million they're being offered.
Exactly.
Garnacho is hardly worth 30 million pounds, man.
Mm-hmm.
So getting 70 million and you can't take a punt on Garnacho saying that he's only 20 years old because he's been a Premier League starter for 2 seasons and he's shown no signs of improvement. And I have no idea what that United dressing room does to players, but for some reason he thinks too highly of himself,
He
when
has
he's
an
not
ego
that
of
good.
CR7,
And
but
yeah,
performs like so.
yeah.
Mm,
So
mm, mm,
being young is not an issue, but being
mm,
young and willing to learn, I won't be saying these things about you,
mm.
but
So,
I haven't seen any signs of improvement, and I don't even feel like Garnacho suits their system. So yeah,
Um, Justin Sebas is training with the group today. My boy is back. Mini cruise. I mean, good for Ceballos.
good
I
for
hope he
Seb.
doesn't. I hope he doesn't do well against Arsenal. That's all I'm going to say. I read about this. Madrid showing interest in Bruno. See, you know what? I actually think that Bruno at Madrid will be great. Why? Why? Because remember Pogba for France, right? Pogba had people to do all the dog work behind him.
Yeah,
So he didn't have to like drop and he could stick with the Hollywood passes, Bollywood passes, all that player shenanigans. Bruno at United doesn't have the liberty. Whereas at Madrid, he'll have the liberty because you have Jude, you have Chubameni or Kamavinga or somebody or the other doing the dog work. So I think Bruno will have the liberty to do all that Hollywood stuff and could be successful. I'm not saying he will be successful because all those kind of shots are like still you never know if they'll be
we
successful.
we
So I think
still haven't seen Bruno Fernandes in a
hmm,
team where he's not the main person. He's
hmm,
always been the main guy at Sporting and then at United, where
hmm,
essentially he is the
hmm,
system. He
hmm,
dictates
hmm,
how a certain team plays. And
hmm,
Real Madrid, if he goes there,
hmm,
it won't be the case. And I feel like Bruno Fernandes at Real Madrid would be a very good bench option, but not a starter. Yeah,
great.
he won't
Hmm.
start games for Real Madrid.
Who are there in that positions?
They've got Jude Bellingham.
I'm assuming that if Bruno comes in and Modric, I mean Modric is renewing every 1 year, so I don't know.
No, no, no,
Hmm.
no.
Actually, yeah, you've got people in the
You
position. I guess.
can't compare the way Luka Modric plays football and Bruno Fernandes plays
No,
football.
no,
It's the polar opposite.
no, I'm talking about like having those attacking options to like start. I
Hmm.
thought Modric will be done after the season, but looks like Bruno's getting another 1 year extension, so we'll never know.
Yeah, I mean, see, there can be all this talk of Madrid showing interest in Bruno, but we all know that it isn't materializing anytime soon. I feel like Bruno Fernandes will sign a new contract at United, then run it down for like the 3 seasons that he's being offered, and then he'll leave to get a bag.
Hmm, hmm, hmm,
He'll be 35 by then, so yeah,
hmm.
fair.
Um, Sanjay, thank you for exposing Bharat versus Bangalore opening, and we will be there. Today, I read a stat: Diaz, Jota, Nunez for Liverpool last 41 matches. Good, very good, shameful man. Huh, that's good. Dude, when we said that when we lost Saka, that is where our season ended. Because for 3.5 months, not having a player like Salah's impact at Arsenal is not small. Yeah, we did some makeshift things with like Beneri and 17-year-old, not even 18, 17-year-old kid. And then we had Trossard, we had Sterling, and then we had Martinelli, and then Martinelli got injured. It was just horrendous. People don't realize what Salah is doing for Liverpool. Like people, like I get it. He may not be Ballon d'Or like contention because of the fact that he doesn't turn up in big games, right? But what he's done at Liverpool will always go underrated because for some reason he's not rated highly by many people. Like only now, like maybe once he retires, people will start talking. Like, maybe that's when
Yeah.
the PR will kick in and all of that. But
It's
yeah.
just the aesthetics bias that people have. Those who generate output will never get praised to an extent that the praise that's given to someone, say a Mesut Ozil,
Hmm.
or someone like an Eden Hazard. Because they are pleasing on the eye, but they are not the supreme players who will generate output and base their game off that. So
Hmm.
and that is one of the reasons why I don't rate Bruno Fernandes highly. It's
Mm,
not the aesthetics bias, but it is, you can't be generating output and
mm,
say that I'm very good, because there are other
mm,
aspects to football as well.
mm.
Yeah.
But like speaking about like people who have great impact, right? Let's call upon our other panelist, Salman. After forever,
Asika
after forever,
Sikandar.
after forever, forever. This has been missing since December or like whenever he got that research portion, which is good. But hey, welcome Salman.
Hi, how are you?
Yeah, we are all good. Chat, this is Salman. In case you guys have missed him, uh, he was part of the streams initially, then went missing since his personal life got important, which is very important to take care of. So yeah, welcome back to the streams. The other comment, Garnacho is a João Felix profile, really inconsistent, and about that, he is a main fantasy syndrome, which is more lethal with the inabilities he has. By the way, hello guys. Bye. Hello, Dr. Vivek. By the way. Yeah. What do you guys think about this?
Garnacho and Joao Felix are not even remotely close to each other as footballers.
Hmm.
But if he means all the other parts to equate both of them, then fine. But yeah,
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah,
Um, we don't need Bruno. Man, stay at gym.
I
Uh,
Bruno is like a final piece kind of player. Like if you have a good team and then you add Bruno, then it makes sense. But yeah, I feel if he was in a club like if he was in La Liga, so for any of the big teams, I think he would
mm,
do well. Like because it would the game is slowed down over there, so it helps players like him. I feel he gets caught sometimes in the fast pace of the Premier League. Yeah,
mm.
and everything is like very fast in the Premier League. So I feel he tries to do too much. Yeah,
Okay,
but
okay.
I
Uh,
don't I don't think he's that bad. Like, but yeah, he's
he
not.
isn't a bad footballer, man.
Yeah, but he needs to. I don't know if he's the player United need. Yeah,
Luka Modric evolved after going to Madrid. Man United is a toxic place where all the players perform sub-optimally, but remove them from that environment and they thrive. In my opinion, Bruno is a class player. That's what
I
I think. I think he would do well at Madrid,
I think
somewhere
Luka
he
Modric
does.
is a good example. Yeah,
Hmm.
like a player who was stuck in a bad situation, and then when he goes to a good situation,
Hmm,
he
hmm.
improves so much. Yeah.
Sikandar Bhai. If Modric starts at first leg at Emirates, I think we will get standing ovation.
What?
Why?
No way. No way.
Why?
Especially he's a Spurs ex-player.
That's what
No
he's the next
chance.
first player. You
But
think Arsenal will stand
why?
up? For,
If I think if he was just a standalone Madrid legend, maybe.
Hmm,
Still, I don't think so. But
hmm,
he's an ex-Spurs player. No chance.
hmm.
Luka Modric is not Thala. He'll be getting standing ovations at every stadium he plays at, man.
Uh, Ainsley says Salman is back after Tere Na Mera bro. Main character symbol. I wonder if he picked it up from his goat.
Ooh, shots fired.
See,
But
he's
he
fine.
he
He
walked the
does.
talk, right?
Uh,
He did, man. Come on.
hmm. Yo, Salman bhai. Deepak. Uh, uh, Dr. Vivek, Gary bhai. Modric has played at the Emirates in the past, and sorry to say, with 2 foot he and his team has been beat. Uh, but players that we wish Arsenal had, David, Isaac. We all hope that Newcastle would lose so that they don't make top five, so that they're out of European position. But yeah, hey, they won. Let's just see. Let's just see. Oh,
Uh,
sorry, I forgot. Bro, just joking.
I feel at this moment like Isaac is just a pipe dream. Like I don't think it's realistic
Yeah.
to expect him to come to Arsenal. I feel
Mm-hmm.
his next step is like Real Madrid Barca level, like that kind of team. Like I don't think he's gonna come like I think yeah, Arsenal is a step above Newcastle for sure, but I don't think it's a big enough step for him to say like uh, because Newcastle, I feel if they finish in Champions League and
Mm,
like they're also building a good team, like, and he's the main man over there. And
mm.
secondly, the price is just I don't
Minimum
I
one.
don't I don't think 150 Arsenal will just shell out, given that
Mm,
we have other needs to. I was like, I after seeing the news, I remember I said this in like the last stream I ever I did last year, that I wanted Gikoris, and now we are
uh,
linked with Gikoris. Like I said it, and then I think you guys were like, we don't want Gikoris, but yeah. Um,
Okay, okay. That's,
I mean, like,
but I
yeah,
don't know.
I
I have always liked him. I feel no. I'll tell you. Tactically, I can understand the points. Like, okay, maybe he might have some deficiencies, whatever. But my point of view comes mostly from the fact that he's a kind of player, like, he hasn't got his chance at a big club yet. So I think that like I know it's like it doesn't really matter for a professional player, but for me it's like something like, he'll be so motivated, like, to when he comes at a big club, like, to just prove his chance, to get his chance finally. I think in that way, I kind of feel like I feel connected to him. Like, I feel like we need to. It would be awesome to give him a chance. I guess Sesko is also more tactically better than Gyökeres, I would say, for Arsenal. But I could see why Arsenal want to go for a more finished product than going for another project player. Yeah.
his boat was the main character in the last decade. The last time we lost in the semifinals of the UK, CR7 insane free kick destroyed the morale of our team.
Uh,
I
okay,
think it's like,
I think he's an Arsenal fan then, Vivek. Then.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
yeah.
Oh, that
Dr.
free
Vivek.
kick. That free kick was a keeper's fault, man. How is he beaten from that far? I never get it. Yeah.
I mean,
Almunia.
If Roberto Carlos is like, what is that? His free kick is called and one of the greatest free kicks ever. Why can't this be called? Yeah.
No, but if you see the Roberto Carlos free kick, it goes outside the goal and then it comes in. Like,
But this was a knuckle ball, no?
but still,
hmm.
man, Almunia was so crap for a team that was in Champions League semi-final. Yeah.
I think Isak wants back to La Liga in my opinion. See, I think Barca would be best for him, but Barca don't have the funds. Forget the price tag. I don't think they have the funds even for his salary. So I don't know.
I don't know. Barca keeps saying they don't have fun and they keep signing players, and then they say that we can't register them, and then they register them also. And I don't like, it's so weird, the La Liga rules. Like, I don't get it. Either you don't have the funds or you have the funds. Like,
Hmm.
they
The
just keep
only
making loopholes.
places I see Isak go to is either Arsenal or Liverpool, which I'm pretty sure won't happen. And Barca cannot afford him because Barca has other positions to fulfill, and in no sane thought process would they shell out 140 million on an Alexander Isak. And Real Madrid don't need an Isak, so Alexander Isak will stay at Newcastle,
Yeah, that's what I feel.
and
Newcastle is his
yeah.
best option.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And
And
I don't agree with the part that for him a step up would be a Barca or a Real Madrid and not an Arsenal because personally I feel that Arsenal provides him the opportunity to come in, be the difference maker, get us the title, and stay at the club and create a legendary status for himself, which he will attain once if he comes in and wins a trophy for us or wins the league. Yeah.
but, like, don't you think he has the potential to play for a prop? Like, I'm not like slating Arsenal. Obviously,
I,
Arsenal is like is a pretty big club, but I think he genuinely has a potential to play for like Real Madrid, that kind of player club.
but
Like,
it is a move
yeah,
that can never materialize. Why would Real Madrid go for Alexander Isak? Doesn't make any sense.
yeah, true.
Isak Hatao, we need lot better. I mean, we have this, no? I mean,
Uh, I mean,
headed off the ball with eye to goal or what FIFA 15 thought. Oh,
Sanogo has more trophies currently than Harry Kane.
but Joao Felix profile, I meant
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
psychologically, which is
I figured that out. Yeah.
After Lemon, Aluminium is a downfall like never before. The 2008-9 season would have been saved if Lemon would have stayed. Wenger had an eye for talent, but he never kept it, and they became world class.
World
World
class.
class.
And also for the fact that the stadium was an issue, right? We had to sell players to like, pay for the stadium.
Hmm.
No, but Almunia, bro ended up at Watford after us. Uh, you know what's his most famous contribution? He's the guy who saved the penalty for the Dini goal. Yeah, the goal which the goal which Dini scored. He's the guy who saved the penalty.
Mhm. But speaking of downgrading, and some people did well, Rashford and Asensio.
Nice. I'm actually happy for Rashford. Honestly. Yeah.
Every stream, Suchit makes it a point to involve Marco Asensio, man.
Can you blame me? Can you blame me? See, even look at this wholesome comment from John McGinn. In 2017, he said Asensio, wow. And then he assessed to Asensio. I mean, like, these are stuff, man. Like, I still can't believe at Asensio, the Madrid Asensio, Galactico playing in the Premier League. See, you can't, like, see, when Ansu Fati even came to Brighton, I agree that Ansu Fati has not done jack shit at Barca. But still, the name that Ansu Fati had, him coming to Premier League itself was one thing. Second, he came to Brighton of all places. You can't. I mean, I'm kind of that merchant who loves a good story, a good nostalgia story, and all that. So I guess, and also,
Yeah.
I'm making the slides, so obviously I'll have this.
No, Premier League has a different clout right now. Like, and
Mm,
they can basically anyone can come in the Premier League now. Like
Yeah.
you there's like, dude, you are having like, you see the Nottingham Forest team right now.
mm,
Half of those guys when they signed them, they were in relegation form. Like when they signed those guys, now they're not. But when they signed them, like they were signing players like, who's the Milinkovic. They were signing players like
That's from
Gibbs White.
Fiorentina.
Yeah, they signed Sangare and the other guy. Who was the other guy? The midfielder who we were also linked with, the Brazilian
Danilo,
guy,
Danilo.
Danilo.
Danilo. They signed
Uh-huh.
those two guys,
Uh,
and we saw the Juventus guy recently in the
to
January.
Bournemouth. No,
Brighton and Juventus are fighting for a signing. Brighton and Juventus in for one player. I forgot the name of the player.
uh,
The left back, one left back. I
oh,
don't know.
in the summer,
No,
Turkish.
no. In the winter window, recent window, there was a player. I don't remember the player's name. He was an obscure player. I think Sporting. He was a Sporting left back, or he was a Portuguese left back. And then Juventus and Brighton were fighting for him. Like that, it's irrelevant who the player was. I'm saying like Juventus is fighting with Brighton. Like imagine, like, and it wouldn't even have been shocking if Brighton won out. Like it's
Huh.
like crazy.
I mean, we saw that Hudson guy go to Brighton. I mean, go to Bournemouth after leaving Juventus. Uh, there is a I think the disturbance is from my side because of the sound here, or could be the cooker from Salman's side. I don't know which one it is, but yeah, we'll see. Then we had Todibo also go to West Ham. I think Todibo told
Mhm.
screw you to this thing, na? Juve, if I'm not wrong. Was it Juve?
No, Todibo. Yeah, it was Todibo. Yeah. His
Uh,
move to Juve broke down and he went to Villa. Sorry,
exactly.
West Ham.
Exactly. So yeah, um, Salman by the daily moment, I always feel it was a glitch in the.
I
Oh,
think that video anytime was guaranteed goosebumps. Like it is so amazing.
and
The
I think even
commentary, the
Hurricane was part of
celebration.
Hurricane was part of the Leicester team, right?
Yeah, I think he was on the bench.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something. Yeah, he was part of the Leicester team, and that also a lot. But yeah, Asensio was apparently available for 15 million. He was perfect market value back in January as well. Ah,
I always been saying this to Suchi that we don't invest in like this some so-called washed players. Like he was not washed, but he was like out of favor, and
mhm.
then give them another chance. Sometimes, I mean, Arteta does it, but he does it with way too expensive players. Like he did with Havertz, he did it with like other guys. But like this
And
15 million,
Havertz.
15 million for Asensio was like, for me it's peanuts. Like you get him, and even if he doesn't perform, you sell him on to a Saudi, or you sell him on to a like La Liga back, and then
At the moment, we could have done with anybody. I mean,
Mm.
I was on my knees for Matisse Tellman.
we could have
How would I have said no to a Marco Asensio?
we
Oh,
could have even like got Evan Ferguson on loan. He went to West Ham.
Evan Ferguson.
uh,
Is he even
no,
playing at West Ham? Man, I am not aware of it.
I forgot it happened. I genuinely forgot it happened. Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah.
We couldn't get him because we had two Premier League loan spots filled, man. Embarrassing.
Mm-hmm. Oh man.
Now we are rocking up with Merino as a striker. Who's the best striker in the league apart from Salah since he started?
Essential,
Honestly,
Gareth.
yeah, if we go by statistics, Mikel Merino is the second best attacker in the
Yeah,
league at the moment.
Hmm? Yeah, yeah, yeah.
no, honestly, he hasn't been playing bad, but it just feels weird seeing him up front. That's all.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Academy. Oh,
yeah, he's not a Galactico in that sense.
Barca and Madrid were fighting for a signature. Oh, that was for Academy. Huh, okay,
Like
cool.
when he was in his academy, they both wanted to sign him. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Fair enough, fair enough. Aston Villa is targeting UCL and Emery is after the lost glory. It's a challenge for him to win the UCL and is doing his thing. Underrated man with brilliant January window and his January
Honestly,
window.
Villa versus PSG is for me the must-watch type. It's going to be so good. I
Mhm.
think it's
For
going to
sure,
be the best football.
for sure. Yeah, Asensio is from the academy, and even Saka may play against
Yeah.
the other.
Other Asensio, Raul.
Mm-hmm.
Kivior.
Timber versus Vinicius gives me Walker versus Vinny vibes.
Oh,
If we've got Timber fit to play the first leg, we'll be fine. We'll be fine.
Okay.
I'm not disrespecting Vinicius. I'm just confident about Timber's ability 1v1.
I hope White
Uh,
and Timber are fit for the first leg.
yeah,
They need
yeah.
to be. We
I,
will
I,
get we'll get to the Real game later. Yeah.
so yeah, on Monday we'll definitely get to it. Asensio admitted before the injury, absolutely beautiful to watch. Uh, for him, I hope he scores a banger against PSG. Fair
He
enough.
always does actually against PSG.
Yeah.
I think he always scores against them.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Timber one yellow card away from suspension for
Yeah. That's an issue.
I analyzed the signings under Arteta and I find out except Sterling, which I don't think is an Arteta signing too. I don't think we invest in temporary things. We do it for long term and we're wrong.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah,
That's
yeah.
what we did that long. We do it all the time. Yeah.
Uh, per summer window, we'll have that one signing which will make no sense. And yeah, Ben White should be available. That's what. Yeah, I think the Everton game will give us an idea on what is the situation there. Right?
Don't even
Uh,
turn up for that game. I don't care. Just put everyone in cotton wools
No,
and
no, no.
just
We can't not turn up against Everton. Forest is just 4 points behind us.
exactly, exactly.
Losing second place to Forest will be embarrassing, man. Fair play to whatever Forest has done this season, but
Mm-hmm.
no,
yeah.
we can't be finishing below Forest. No,
I'm saying in defense, just start like I don't care. Everton, man, we can
I
start
don't care. We don't
Kivior.
have players to start in defense.
Start Kivior. No, I'm saying start Kivior, Tierney, Zinchenko. They can play against
They
Everton
will
for
have
sure.
to start because we
Yeah.
honestly don't have anybody else.
No, if White is fit, don't even play. Involve him at
Yeah,
Everton. Yeah.
yeah.
But speaking about injuries that could have been a good thing and didn't affect a certain team, Liverpool. Now this game, I think this chat actually answers it properly. Everton playing Royal Rumble, man. I saw that game. I do not know how that was not a red card for Tarkowski.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tarkowski. Bro, what was that? I thought McAllister was gone. It was a horrible, horrible foul. I know. Many people will be telling that it was not a red card on a Napoli player before. It was not a red card on Kaiser before. we've been saying all of them are red cards. We are not
Mhm.
denying the fact that those are not red cards. We're just saying they're red cards. Why is the referee not being, proactive?
Consistent.
They went to VAR. They checked VAR and they said that, oh, it's not a red card. Are you serious? Like, and they plan to what, have those
Semi-automated also.
semi-automated into game week, bro. And then Ange comes out and says that, oh, we need AI, we don't need AI and all that, bro. With the people who are operating that VAR shit, you're telling me that we don't need AI to put some sense into the kind of refereeing that is happening in the Premier League. Imagine McAllister lost his leg here. Forget this season, they won the title. He has Copa America. He has World Cup coming in. It's huge, dude. Genuinely,
Yeah.
it's genuinely scary of how shit the referees are in the Premier League. Forget the fact that Liverpool are our rivals this season, right? You won't wish such a foul and not being penalized in any form, like be it our rival, be it any rivals. It's bullshit. If you look at the game, Everton could have easily been 2 or 3 nil up before Jota scored that dagger. Did you guys watch the game?
No, I didn't even bother turning up for the
No, it
derby one.
was Liverpool basically scored on their proper chance. Yeah, that's all. And then Everton kept squandering chances in the first half, and then
Hmm.
Liverpool scored in the second half with the only chance they got. And then after that, they
Exactly.
just consolidated the position. That's all.
Mm-hmm. Dude, Beto, man. I felt like throwing a chapel at Beto. Like, what was that miss? He did everything well. He went past him, Van Dijk. Van Dijk was doing some acrobat defending something. I don't know what happened, but my God.
But like honestly, I've not seen a more hardworking player than him. The
Hmm.
amount he runs in the
Yeah.
game, I'm
Hmm.
like, bro doesn't
Hmm.
tire. Like he was running constantly. Like I
Hmm.
respect
Hmm.
that at least.
You
His
know
miss was
the
bad.
results won't show the entire picture, but Liverpool has been mid for quite some time now.
Hmm.
But
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
just that they've been getting results, which is good
Yeah.
for them. But
Yeah.
yeah, title
Yeah,
winning.
this Liverpool team is like if they face quality opposition, they won't beat them.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
that's the thing. That's what happened against PSG also. When
I
they
won't go on the entire talk of how Liverpool has won the league when others have been bad. I won't indulge in that. But yeah, Liverpool,
no,
very
I
good
think
team.
Hmm.
I think
Hmm.
what happened was they gave the entire energy to get the lead, and then now you see that they're drained. Like
Yeah.
they're drained basically
Hmm.
because Slot basically didn't um rotate at all in the beginning of the season. Like
They
he
had
kept playing
they had Endo and they ran Grand back to the ground, man.
exactly. So
Yep.
I think I think it was like I think for Arsenal what happened was last two seasons we started really well and then we faltered in the end.
Hmm.
So I think Arteta thought that maybe this time we'll try to like you know like have a more sustained like run. But what happened is Liverpool just went in such a over gear like over next
Hmm.
level that yeah, it doesn't
Salah.
really matter.
Salah is the reason, not
Yeah,
anyone else. Salah is the main reason.
yeah.
Yeah.
I actually feel really bad for Salah that because when he needed his teammates to kind of carry him in one or two matches, like
Hmm.
in the like PSG, yeah, he had a bad game obviously, but even
Hmm.
good players get like need their teammates to like help them
Yeah.
out sometimes.
You can't blank over two legs. I'm sorry. You're the best player of the team. You have to step up. There's
I
no two
get,
ways about it. There's no
Hmm.
Liverpool players carrying Salah. He has to be the one carrying the team because he's the best player.
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Like, is that's not always possible. Like it's not always gonna happen. Like I understand he blanked. I'm not saying he's not to be blamed. He is to be blamed.
Hmm.
But like if you see, even though he blanked, it went till the penalties, and his teammates like let him down. Like he scored his penalty, and they basically scored only one penalty. I think so in the shootouts. Yeah,
Huh.
Liverpool.
Huh.
So I mean, I'm saying in that, and he's had such a bad luck in penalty shootouts. Like I think Afcon final also he lost on
Oh yeah,
penalty.
Afcon
Yeah,
final. Egypt?
Yeah, to
When did
Senegal.
Egypt go to finals?
Senegal
Oh, okay.
versus
Ha,
Egypt,
ha, ha, ha.
the one with
Mm,
Mane and Salah,
mm,
and then he's
mm,
like, I feel that yeah, he was but through the match, I will really say that he was very very bad. Was a
mm.
Carabao Cup final. I think he was so bad in that match. Like he
Ah,
didn't do
okay.
anything because that
Okay.
was a match. Like okay, you're out in Champions League, you win the Carabao Cup. It's like
Mm,
okay, maybe you compensate a bit with the trophy, but they basically faltered in that match.
mm, mm. Dr. Vivek says sometimes I feel Indian media and PGML are similar sitting in Hodi. Angel's comment, past few years, you all finished second for a change. Finished third also will be an insane story for football.
See, finishing third isn't bad, but finishing third to a Nottingham Forest, no, please.
Only
Only
team,
one club.
only club that has three-peated second before, and they were trying to become. This is the copium. This is the hopium. This is everything that we need for next season. Come on, Sanchit. This is
This season was proper cursed, but for us, like honestly, like from the
true.
moment from moment one only,
Mm.
from the Declan Rice red card against Brighton, it's been cursed. Yeah.
Already Declan, somebody tweeted out saying when Merino broke his shoulder.
Yeah,
Merino came in and fractured his shoulder because Gabriel fell on him. Man, what even is that supposed to mean?
True, true. Um, but
Crazy.
but people, but
I
people.
genuinely feel like even if Arteta goes to the semi-final in Champions League with this kind of team, like this kind of situation, it's like
See,
what?
as it is, our chance of beating Real Madrid was less than
Yeah,
10%, and with Gabriel gone, it's down to 3, 4, 2%, man. It's
like genuinely, I don't know if we'll do it. I honestly this season I don't care if we do it in the Champions League, but this team has proper Chelsea 2012 vibes. Like it's so dead,
yeah.
and then they just
Imagine just losing 3 games in the league after not even starting your best 11 3 times in the league. It's actually
like
incredible, man.
that's what I'm saying.
Credit
This
won't be given to Arteta this season because he's come second, but this season he's done very very well.
yeah, I've been saying this from December onwards. Like it's been like I think this is a season where he actually showed that he has a lot of tactical
Yeah.
nous, like because he had to adapt so much. Yeah. You're on mute.
But speaking of like not able to field your best players, right? I think finally we can have a panel with four people. Hi, Arush.
I was
Welcome.
waiting for the craziest intro from you, but you disappointed, bro.
Well, I tend to do that very often.
What's up,
Disappointing.
guys? What's up, Salman? How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Hmm. Liverpool will lose against.
it's
What a way to end up
it's
coming on stream, bro.
4th of April 2025 and we're still going on about Liverpool will lose that game, Liverpool will lose this game.
April
Doctor
Fools is over yesterday, day before or whatever.
Doctor Vivek. Do you do things beyond taking care of patients? Like
Dr. Vivek is just trolling now, man. I'm convinced.
I do not know, man. Like 2 years ago, we were 7 points above, and from match day 31, we started to fall and fall and fall, and it became
But
hard.
7 points
Copium,
above, थोड़ा
Copium
context
on
भी है ना
4th of
उसमें.
April, bro.
There was
What
games
are
in
we
hand for
doing?
City. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
games in
I
hand
really
was
don't. I really don't care about stories of English media, bro. Imagine if we had another stadium from another team.
Yeah,
yeah.
101%.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if
Uh,
Pep does this, if Slot does this, they would
mm,
be crowned as i- what a manager that guy is. How well he's adapted. How on earth has he made a midfielder who's never played a striker in his life
mm.
score 5 goals? But with Arteta, it's like yeah,
See, I don't think it's up to Arteta also. I think it's just Marino is Spanish. If that guy was like English, gone, finished.
You know
Um,
what's the best quality of Merino? He just shoots the ball when he gets the chance. That's what I like about him. Like
That's what
we
you
have
need, to be honest.
we have so many players who will go in the position and they'll like, dilly dally in the box for no reason. Like he shoots. Yeah.
no, hello, Arush. FC Goa lost the game. What are your thoughts on the game plus the second leg?
Thoughts on the game. I think it was a fairly even contest. I think, yeah, Bengaluru did edge the game because of how many shots they ended up getting on the goal, and also, the chances they missed in the game because our keeper kind of played clutch. We ended up scoring an own goal in the first half, and then it just got difficult for us. Again, away stadium, big Bengaluru crowd. I think as an away crowd in a stadium like Bengaluru, with filled like with 20-25,000 people, I think we did quite a good job to actually get this side into the game with the chances that we had. But I think second leg is going to be very interesting. 2-0 deficit. Hopefully we pull the Arsenal women's team against Real Madrid thing. That we go to Goa Stadium and then we end up getting a 3-0 victory. So yeah, let's see.
Ainsley says Arush coming back to Goa to watch return leg of FC Goa only to watch us lose. Wait,
Wait.
what?
WAIT.
We will be there.
No,
It's
I'm coming a week later. Matches on Sunday.
my profession, bro. We cannot give up until.
Look at him back it up, bro. Look at him back it up.
Can we really say anything? Can we
Vivek
really
bhai
say
will
anything?
Vivek bhai will be like after mathematically overalls he'll be like they'll get points deduction.
Uh,
Did he
it is
just call
what.
me a double AARUSH?
Double A singer and douche. What?
See, at times, right? I don't say anything. It's just Dr. Vivek and his
the, this is
scripted.
this
Dr.
is
Vivek.
this comment has got the sterling tweet energy. When he tweeted some gibberish, Joffy wake me up morning.
This is not the drugs I'd expect that they give the patients in the hospitals, bro.
Uh, but we definitely needed patience to watch a shit show of a match, man. I can't believe that this
Imagine
actually
staying
happened.
awake to watch this.
Ha ha ha.
Man, it
I
was
mean, like, I had
painful.
true, true, true. I mean, Cole Palmer was world class. Part, don't you agree?
Yeah, he's finally found his level.
Uh, but yeah, what a shit game, man. Like, give me the bridge. Remember when they played like what 4 5 seasons? How many seasons? 7 seasons back. I mean,
Acha, okay, acha.
The Leicester season you're saying.
the Leicester
That's
season
10
back.
years ago now. 10 years ago.
Yeah, 9 years ago.
9 years ago or so. Yeah.
But yeah, the only good thing that came out of this was the jokes. And he was cupping his ears.
To his own fans, man. Very cool.
Why? Why?
I think this is like a very toxic relationship that they've gotten into,
No,
bro. And it's
Yeah,
Yeah.
not gonna get better for
Ange is
either of
done.
them because
Like Ange is
yeah,
like so
because
done with Tottenham now.
there's hardly any examples of anyone turning a situation like this around, bro. Because you see, he's also never won against Chelsea in his time. And
Yeah.
now you see them at 14th or something. There's no way they're gonna get out of it, and they're already discussing other managers to replace as well, which is
Unless unless Ange
Iraola.
wins the Europa League, he's 100%
Iraola is
gone.
a name that's floating around.
Iraola is not going to
Please.
leave Europe with Bournemouth to just come to Spurs and stay
Yep,
mid-table, bro.
exactly.
I don't want Iraola
And
to go to
talking about
Spurs.
Iraola, you see his form that he's hit with Bournemouth recently. What
oh,
is going on?
No one would talk about it. The only thing I was hearing when we were, when we had half our team out, the only thing I was hearing was Bournemouth had 10 players out. They played Dango Utara, who's supposed to play as a left back, as striker, and they beat Newcastle 4-1. So they were like, see, Antonio Iraola is so good. He did what
I mean,
Ateta couldn't do even with a fit squad.
I mean, I get the factor that he is a Spanish, he is Mikel Arteta's friend and stuff like that. I know he's a very good. I think they have one of the best pressing systems in the whole of the league.
100%. Yeah.
And also as to how they operate on the transition, they've got one of the best sides. But that doesn't really mean that he's gonna translate that to Arsenal if Mikel is gonna be um sacked, because that was the conversation just a couple of months back. So it just points to be a very funny conversation at this point of
But
time if you go back to those opinions.
don't you think? Like, and I'm not saying with respect to Arteta, but his style of play could suit Spurs. Maybe they have like
Could
guys who
for
are in
sure.
the
Yeah.
transition and
And
Definitely.
pressing
Spurs have the money to get him at Spurs
and
as well.
because of way the Ange also likes to play, he has bought such players who are like very quick in the
Hmm.
transition, and
Mm-hmm.
so
For
And,
sure. And also, sorry,
go
sorry,
on,
sorry
go
to
on.
cut you off, but also the factor that Kerkez is going to leave, Huijsen is going to leave, Semenyo may probably leave.
Yeah.
That
Mm.
is a very enticing aspect for him to leave the club.
Mm-hmm. And another nice thing that happened, and the only positive that I could find with Tottenham was the fact that Tell was more involved in the game. Like, remember when he first came and people were like, oh, he's been horseshit and he's been very wasteful.
Nah, he wasn't
I
actually
think,
that bad.
yeah, he's not that bad. I would still take him.
Hmm.
It is what it is.
You aren't wrong.
Yeah, yeah. Dr. Vivek has 4 new packs waiting back.
maybe after next week.
Oh yeah, usually let it be a secret, bro. Yeah. Son
Uh,
is like Thala of Spurs.
Plus one. Man, why
oh,
why is he still starting games? He's beyond finished.
bro, talking about Thala's going to captain CSK, bro, next game.
Exactly. You couldn't
What
make this up.
are we
Thala is
doing, bro?
proper like
But you know
legacy is
what?
getting made fun of now.
You know what? I think CSK is going to win that match just because of the script, bro. The
Yeah,
script is going to
Break
be a
that.
Dhoni win.
Uh, and has done me hot shit support. Has done me hot shit
Sing. Yeah,
supporters
yeah,
were
yeah.
responding City song too. And now he's doing for the
That
money
is
and super tag. True.
that is
Sharma.
the exact reason why their relationship became sour.
yeah.
Mm.
After
That was
that
the
match,
start of
he
it.
he, he
He
was like,
called the
Yeah.
Spurs fans out, man. He was like, "Why would you wish a loss on your own team?"
Mm-hmm.
after that match, he was so angry. Like you could just see it on his face. Yeah,
By the way, jokes aside, instead of Isaac, we should go for Kane. We will complete. I've said
This
this.
is this is Suchit consents. Dr. Vivek consents. Kane, who cares? If both of you want him here, he should be here, right?
Uh, Gary. Oh, Arush, you got fans, bro. My
Oi.
favorite Arush is here. Hi, bro. Arush has fans. But yeah, finally, we've hit 1 hour and we can finally talk about the Arsenal.
Yes,
Happy
sir.
St. Daughter's Day, guys. It has
easy.
been
Cheers, bro.
one of
It's too
the,
easy this time.
yeah, congratulations. Cheers to you guys. Yeah,
By
where
the
do
way,
we?
one more thing I need you to say.
Mhm.
Tammy Abraham scored for AC Milan.
I know. My talent ID, man. They'll do well in Europe. My talent ID.
And this guy had the guile to say that we should be looking at Tammy Abraham for our striking options, man.
Why?
The
Why not?
shamelessness on display.
Bro, he was. I remember like 4 5 years ago when Tammy Abraham was linked away from move. This guy was literally begging on his knees for us to sign Tammy Abraham.
What
He
is
was.
wrong? But yeah.
I
We
remember
saw
he
we
was
saw
so angry when they sold him. Like we didn't go for him. He was like legit. Like he was pissed. Like Sujit was like. He was like in depression for half an hour. Like, why didn't we go for Tammy Abraham?
in a single stream we saw Parth backing Garnacho and Sushit backing Tammy Abraham, bro.
See,
No, no, no. It's
see,
either
I
minus or must
wasn't
or must,
backing
bro.
Garnacho,
see. We,
man.
we don't
It was
have
a
a
dig at Martinelli.
we don't we don't have a striker. So I would take Tammy Abraham, right? When you have a shit fellow like Garnacho, right? And you're comparing the Martinelli who stalks out down. You are against Arsenal, not me. I'm saying pro Arsenal. Get a striker for Arsenal.
No,
Don't
no.
put me in the same
Gabriel
bracket.
Martinelli has redeemed himself. I won't talk no bad about him, man.
I'll
Mm.
take Merino over that Tammy Abraham. Uh,
Script is being written. Thala is coming back as the captain. CSK is going to win.
Yes,
the Thala
Uh,
memes
One
right
man.
now are
ultimately.
the
I
funniest
can
in the
live
world.
for Thala means, man. Bring it
Like
on. For no reason at all, man. We brought in Thala when Luka Modric was being discussed.
the guy, there's so I don't know if you guys know that there's a channel like that Sports Yari channel. They have that. There's
Bro,
a that
fun
Jaws
fact, fun fact.
Jaws
Yeah, yeah, that
D92.
Jaws
That,
guy.
oh my
uh,
god, that guy is so funny.
Bro, fun fact. I had gone for this World Cup. I don't know what. I think it was a T20 World Cup or no, it was a 50 over World Cup. The game was in Bengaluru. I think this was 2 years back in November or something.
mm,
So we had gone to watch New Zealand versus Sri Lanka or something, okay? And we had made banners for Rachin Ravindra, which they didn't allow us to take it because he was a local boy. So we were like, let's support a local guy from here. So we had made a board which said like, when in Bangalore, when in Mumbai, Sachin, Sachin, when in Bangalore, Rachin, Rachin. So we had this banner, okay? And Rachin ended up scoring a century that game. So after the game got over, we took the poster and we were walking on the road outside the stadium. And this sports yari guy was there, okay? He was there taking interviews of people and he was like, do you want any opinion? I was like, I don't want any opinion. And my only opinion is that India is going to win the World Cup or whatever what was going on. And we ended up losing to Australia, bro. That whole tournament. It was crazy. That we went with India jerseys over there. Okay, we deviated. I'm sorry.
no, it's fine, it's fine. But yeah, one of the greatest scripts that could have been written in Emirates. Like
Yes.
last season, we had Emil Smith Rowe coming on, people went mad. But now, when Saka came on, bro, I think me and Salman had a conversation. It kind of brought back Thierry Henry vibes when he came back and scored
2012.
goals. Yeah,
Mhm.
bro, what a story, man! What a story! Something, something else.
I'm 24 years of age and I was smiling hopelessly looking at the screen with all the lights out, man. I was just like, he's back. I'm just taking it all in, man. Crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I still can't believe the Muniz miss in the 80th minute.
Muniz,
Rodrigo Muniz, man.
Muniz.
Edu.
Muniz,
My
Edu's
god,
target. Bring
mhm.
him in.
what a miss! I still can't believe how he missed that. He was right straight in front of the goal.
If
No one around him.
if we
Mm.
went on to draw that game 2-all, man, you have no idea the head loss I would have had.
I think people would have forgotten that Saka came back, but
And this
yeah.
was
Mm.
this was the 1-all draw that we played at Craven Cottage all along. If had it been 2-all, man, because Fulham, I don't recall Fulham doing anything in that game.
Yeah,
Yep.
basically the Merino goal was the luck we needed in that last match, like in
Ha,
the
ha, ha,
1-0
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
loss.
I'm 22 and I had tears, bro.
Well,
22, 18, 24,
it was
25.
goosebumps.
You
Yeah,
all had tears, man.
Yup,
You all
man.
had tears. But
Crazy.
what a
Who do
thing.
you call 18 by the way?
it like
Huh?
proper.
I
Like
don't
I
know.
don't
He's 19.
Bro,
He's
casually said
19,
18.
man.
I'm 19, bro.
He's
Ha, ha,
19.
ha, same thing.
like the only thing I can I kind of it felt like I don't know if this is a great example, but I don't know how many of you guys watch WWE. Like when the WWE guy makes his entrance, this the wrestler, it was kind of like
Yeah,
that. Like the crowd just like gets up and then that vibes. Like, yeah, it was like that.
yeah.
Saka was like Gulab, Dwa, Dwa,
Oh,
Dawada. Okay.
Zahar.
dawa
गुलाब
dawa
ख्वाब दवा जहर
zahar
जाम क्या
jam.
क्या है मैं आ गया
Yeah.
हूँ बता इंतजाम क्या क्या अरे
Oh, wow.
वाह
My
Suchi
Hindi.
didn't understand.
Ghanta I understood.
Man, Suchit, and him trying to read all the messages in Hindi, man.
You asked me to type Hindi. एकदम
Man,
first
it
class
is
Hindi.
it is the tension that was between Wenger and his chain of his jacket. That is the exact tension we experience when you try to read Hindi, man.
Uh, Arteta finally playing to our strengths. Can't remember the last time we played over the top balls to our wingers. Okay, finally we can talk about football. Thank you, Sanjay.
Yeah.
Um, you know what? For a change, we have always had Arush talk tactically. Let's have Parth. This is your moment.
Oof.
Yep. So, uh, what we did in the entire game was something that I haven't seen happen often. So this was where we were just making overloads on a single side. Here it's been predominantly shown on the right hand side, but we were creating overloads on the left hand side as well. So our entire game plan was to congest the right hand side and then to switch a ball, which ultimately happened in this scenario where Timber had the ball and he played a ball to the back post, a low cross, and Martinelli was open. I mean, Martinelli had a man on him, but he could outpace him and get ahead of him, and this created a lot of chances where we ended up in these situations and we didn't have to go through Fulham's mid block, which has always been the issue because we can't progress the ball through the center and our wide creators haven't got the ability or the form to take advantage of beating the man 1v1. So that is one thing that we did, and the other thing was, do you have the slide?
This
No, not this one, the other one.
the floating
Yeah,
midfield.
and the second thing was a midfield. It usually has been the three players have been pretty static. I mean, they've interchanged positions, but they've been like if Partey is at the middle, he'll stay at the middle. If Odegaard is on the right hand side, he'll stay there, and Rice will stay where he is, and he would just make runs vertically, but this time runs were being made diagonally, as you can see here, which took Fulham's defense or the midfielders towards the guy Rice making the run, which left space, which then we could exploit, which Timber did, even Rice did in this occasion, and we could play over the top balls uh, to our center forward, which was Merino, or even the ones making the runs. And in my opinion, the game changed in wider areas where Martinelli was on his game 1v1. I mean, we've criticized Martinelli a lot for not beating his man, with his head down dribbling style and being predictable, but against Castagne, who I feel isn't a bad footballer, but I have no idea what got into Martinelli. He had the sharpness, and he was taking on. He was not only taking him on, but creating separation and putting in those crosses with his left peg, which haven't been on target at all times, but they were very effective. And the runs he made centrally, they were perfect. I mean, for me, Martinelli did redeem himself, and he did exactly what I would expect a winger who would come in the summer to do. It was a faultless game.
Yes, sir.
Mute.
You're on mute, Praveen.
Yeah.
I know. I didn't say anything. We have high praises. No. How do you guys give such good tactical explanations about Arush and Parth? Well, some
Spot
people
the
are
gift.
born geniuses. Some people are just good
No.
at
There's
practicing their
nothing in it, bro. You just have to notice certain plays and
Yeah,
just say
exactly.
it.
to uh, Silva deployed in the mid block, but knowing Arteta, I guess he showed
Show
the
that on the video.
We'll come to that point. We'll come to that point. I got called out on Twitter. Funny things. I'm not even on there.
What?
I will say it. Ainsley, look at my face. Martinelli is better than Rafinha. It's banter. It's just banter. Rafinha is here. Martinelli is there. Legends. Hey, being Sarangi. Finally. How are you, sir? Welcome to the channel. I hope you're doing well. Legend says that Castagna went into a trance and was found lost in the streets of London.
I
Yeah.
mean that nutmeg through Martinelli, I
Yep.
think he took
Yep.
him back to the streets of Brazil, bro. I think he had to make sure to take him back to Brazil.
Uh,
That's how good that dribble was. That literally gave you like the Neymar vibe, bro.
I
Like
swear, I swear.
average Neymar comp would have one guy falling to ground like a sniper
Yep.
shot or something. That was
Mhm.
that in this comp, bro.
See, Neymar in that situation would probably like rainbow flick and like, get into that position.
Yeah.
And it's just Neymar. Vinicius is like some D grade version of that, but Martinelli is like B grade. That's how good Martinelli is. Or Gabby's wife showed him that parts and opinion. Uh,
Too many opinions you're having, bro, Parks. Some
Nah,
are
nah,
very
nah,
questionable.
man.
रंगे भाई किधर हो आज कल भाई
Paternity leaves.
paternity.
Actually,
Mhm. Oh, he's been doing a lot of quizzes in case you guys have missed out though.
yep.
And they're really
The
fun
the
quizzes.
quizzes, man, he puts in a lot of work in them, man, and they are very
And
good quizzes,
also,
man. Love
also
them.
make sure to join them because he gives quite a lot of hefty goodies after if you end up winning
Mm-hmm.
the whole
True,
table. So
true.
do join
Yep.
in, man.
Mhm.
You'd really know if you actually have the ball knowledge, which
Mhm.
some try to show here.
Uh, let's come back. Yeah, this player, right? This specific player. What happened? Did I miss something?
Nothing.
Okay, okay. This specific player, I didn't expect. Wait, who's the one? Was it Timber or was it Ethan Veneri in the like rightmost corner?
That's
It's
timber.
Timber.
Timber, right?
For a
Yeah.
change, we had that.
Timber.
Yep, exactly. And this is another point I wanted to point out. It was Timber occupying the right wing position, and it was Ethan Vaneri who was operating in the pockets. Right.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Yeah.
that through ball from Venere to Timber to make that, run
Mm-hmm.
was like, okay, this is something we have seen like long, long back with Ben White. This is
Yep.
not something
Right.
in recent times.
Perfect. Yeah.
Also,
Yeah. Yeah.
also for a fact, you saw. I mean, Odegaard didn't have the best of games, but the times he had the ball in the half spaces, I think he was very good in distributing play.
Hmm,
Because
hmm,
if you remember that play from the second half where Timber carried the ball from the halfway line, played it to Odegaard. Odegaard beat a man, and
hmm,
Hmm.
and Timber actually had a runner.
Yep.
I mean,
hmm,
Odegaard actually had a runner
I
who
don't know.
ran for a change in so many
hmm,
weeks. And now that we're going to see it with Saka, it was
hmm,
actually something good to see
Mm-hmm.
before a Saka substitution in because Timber almost scored there. That
hmm,
run was
hmm,
Yeah.
so good. So
hmm.
yeah,
That,
having a runner makes a big
hmm.
difference.
And I don't know, guys,
As
if you remember, Timber was like down. He was holding his knee. We were like, gone. But yeah, to see him
as
run
soon as
like
Saka
that.
came on, you could see Odegaard like just go that a bit. Like you could
Mm-hmm.
see his
They were yeah they were
you,
combining as well.
you could see
I
his like
remember.
game like his
Yeah,
like
yeah,
it was
yeah.
just they're so in sync. That's it,
कुंभ के
like
मेले में बिछड़े हुए भाई मिल गए.
yeah. If only Ben White is back, it would be good. Those three would be.
We need them back, man.
Always, always. Good work deserves high praises. So
100%, yeah.
don't worry about it. Uh, and one more thing I want to tell. Remember that offside goal that Martinelli scored? He took out four players with that.
The
With
weight
that
on that pass was perfect, man. That was very, very good.
Whose pass was
four.
that?
Odegaard.
Odegaard.
Whatever.
Uh-huh. I mean, I get it is offside. Keep that finishing, but please, we need more of this soon. Everton.
That finish was really good. I really like that.
Yeah.
He just
And that is
opened the
something
body.
that is really something what we could see against Real Madrid, to be honest. Because fun fact that we'll put a video out on them before the game, but
Mm-hmm.
transition wise, I think they lack that bodies in midfield because they don't
100%, yeah.
in a space of long space of marking a player. I think that's one of their weak points because they
Hmm.
aren't able to trace those runs.
Yeah,
So
that's what
and
I was saying.
Odegaard playing a run between the defensive line, which they also prefer playing high lines at times, considering they have Rudiger and Asensio playing this game. I think it is quite a good opportunity to actually see a Rice run in between or a Martinelli run inwards because transition wise, Martinelli has the pace and it's all about finishing. And in Europe, we actually get the space afforded unless if it's like if
Mm-hmm.
it's not like a Porto or a Atletico Madrid or something like that. So this game could actually have a it's a good day for Martinelli to regain his form. That's what I'm trying to
Yeah.
Also,
say.
I feel like it's quite sad that Gabriel is out because I feel we had the physicality, what is the advantage over Real Madrid. Like I feel that
100%.
especially obviously Rudiger is there, who's a very physical player. But other than that, in especially in corners and all, we are much more physically imposing than Real Madrid. And I
And
feel Gabriel.
Real aren't that good at defending corners.
Hmm.
They've been pretty shit at them. And
I
even
mean,
against Sociedad, they were very poor.
yeah, I mean, I saw a video recently, like about Real Madrid fans being asked about the first leg, and most of them feel that they will not win the first leg. They are banking on they're
Yeah,
banking on the home leg, on their home leg.
yeah,
So
yeah.
personally, I feel
That's
we
it.
should we like I think that's a mistake we did against Bayern last time. Like we had them and we let them come back in the game. I
Yeah,
think like in Europe, obviously tactics do matter, but it's more a game of moments. Like you need to capitalize the moment and the momentum, and I think that's where sometimes Arteta, like in Europe especially, he doesn't seize the moment. Like especially when we went 1-0 up against Bayern last time, we were there. They were there for the taking. If we went for
yeah,
the second and third goal, that match was over basically. But he went for the, like, let's consolidate 1-0. Like I think if we score first against Real Madrid, we need to go for the second and third. That's the only way we have a chance of winning.
we'll get the space that we want against Madrid. Madrid won't. I
No, no,
mean, Madrid
I'm not.
can defend in a mid block or a low block, but I don't think they will,
No,
because that
tactically he
isn't
never
a
gets it.
team that they are.
He rarely gets it wrong. Arteta tactically,
Yeah,
I feel the mentality has to be there, like in this match, because we can't be like, okay, 1-0 and then just consolidate the result. It's there's not. We need to score that second goal, third goal. Then
Against Bayern also, for a fact, remember like the ending moments of, I think I don't know if it was the first leg, but Saka had that foul from
yeah, first
Neuer.
leg. Yeah,
Neuer.
first leg.
no, yeah,
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 yeah.
That
penalty call, yeah,
penalty, that
yeah,
should have been a penalty, and that's just the moments that actually derive a game. So yeah,
But
Um, Timber or Kunde this season?
Timber,
Timber.
Timber.
Timber,
Who's
yes.
better? Ah, yeah, Timber.
Timber. Again, no, 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 no. This would be seen as saying that Kunde has not been good. Kunde has been very good, but we've watched Timber, and Timber is coming off an ACL, and the kind of performances he's put in, and he's
Exactly.
not even played at right back the entire time. He's played one game at centre back, then he's slotted at left back, and then he's played at right back. And
Okay,
to
Hmm.
let's be
do
let's be
that,
more let's be more honest, but I'd say Kunde in attacking phases has been much better
yeah,
than
yeah, yeah.
Timber, but
Yeah.
Timber defensively locking down players has been one of the best right backs.
True, true.
Both
I
will be like
haven't
top three
seen
right backs this season.
100%. Yeah, I haven't
We
seen
had a lot about
any
it as
winger get the better of Timber this season till now.
Yep.
well. Hmm. True, true. Especially the PSG game. Remember when the way he locked up Barcola?
Barcola,
Oh,
yeah.
oh, it was something else. But yeah, I guess we can finally have a conversation regarding the analysis. Sanchez says, wait, I actually disagree with parts analysis. We have done this overloading for a long time when our team was
True.
fit.
Yeah,
The,
yeah, yeah.
the that change for me was playing quicker and trying to break lines in final third.
Yeah.
Ah,
True.
agreed,
I
agreed.
mean,
Yeah.
this is something that we've been doing, but it wasn't a conscious effort. But this time, I mean, we've been doing this because we had the likes of Odegaard, Saka, and White.
Hmm.
But ever since we've not had those profiles, or
Hmm.
that way of playing, we were actually pretty static against mid blocks. But this time we were innovative,
Yep.
and we tried to get them down by overloading a side. That
And
is that
also,
is what is
Parth
different.
also mentioned the fluidity in Odegaard's position because he
Yeah.
wasn't only fixated onto the RHS when
Yeah.
Saka got injured. Teta actually managed to find different routes for that. So he actually went on the LHS, and that was a theme against Sporting also, the 5-1
Hmm.
result, even when Saka was playing. But that's what Odegaard was doing that time, floating into that space, actually overloading on the left hand side so that the right hand side is more into isolation. And we've spoken about this
Yeah.
multiple times in the channel as well.
Yeah.
So I think yeah, this was notably done because of the tempo that we played against versus Fulham.
we
And
hardly
I
tried
think
to
yeah,
create we hardly tried to create from the center, because
yep.
they had always their like four players plus their striker Raul Jimenez defending the central areas. So our best bet was to go out wide and count on our 1v1 abilities of our wingers who
And
were at
also
their
not
game.
to forget, Marco Silva is the guy who actually is a demon in front of Arteta. And before going
Yeah.
into the game, he went to the five at the back versus Arteta, who's
Hmm.
riding an injury-ridden squad, obviously.
Hmm.
So the tactical changes in terms of Merino playing as a center forward, him having those. I mean, he scored his sixth goal in like 8 matches playing as a
Yeah.
striker, which is just phenomenal. He actually should rethink his position because his better positioning and end of output is better at center forward than it would be at CM. That's for this season at least. Preseason would actually boost him into a very good midfield player for us, considering that
Yeah.
we'd get
I
like
believe that.
a starting defensive midfielder and he'd be the next option to play any of DM or CM if Miles is not being promoted to midfield. So certain tweaks like this have actually made our tactical understanding. And I think this is also something that we've seen in the past couple of games, even versus Chelsea, even the previous game, I forgot whom we played. But these are all things that we've seen in preparation to what would come against Real Madrid.
Yep,
Because
100%.
we also let Fulham have the ball at times, and we actually managed to counter them at moments with Martinelli's pace. So it just tells you as to how we are accustoming to different variations in the game state.
Yeah,
Mikel Merino, man, a big shout out to Mikel Merino. The way he's, made that centre forward position is because being a centre forward in an Arteta system is not easy because uh, his role is not only limited to being there in the box to score a goal. His out of possession responsibilities have changed considerably. He was pressing from the left hand side. I mean, when we were defending in a 4-4-2 out of position, he was the one who was occupying the left mid position, and then he was also dictating the press up front, which was obviously facilitated by Odegaard being the main man. But it isn't easy to adapt yourself to a completely different pressing structure when you're up front than to what you're as a midfielder, which he's been doing. And again, the finishes, yes, it was a lucky finish. It got deflected, but to even end up in that position, to have the positional IQ, to be there for the cutback for a player who's not naturally a striker, who's not naturally accustomed to movement in the box is pretty impressive.
no, and I don't think
He's been doing
it was
very well.
completely luck also. Like you see the quick
Yeah,
feet he had and then just shoot it. Like
100%. Yeah,
it was like, yeah, obviously it took a deflection. No, but I also feel like I don't know if this is only me, but there are certain games when Arsenal start, that's when like these guys are like going to be on it. Like I don't know, maybe I feel that as a fan, but I don't know if this is like
that's
for others. But like when
completely true.
when you see the first minute of like the match against Fulham, like you knew that Arsenal is going to play a certain way, and that certain way, as Parth said, tactically he said it right, is when we play really fluid football. Like the moment you see Arsenal playing that structured, everyone in static positions, you know that it's going to be a very bad game for Arsenal. Like it's mostly going to be end up going to be a KG 1-0, or like we'll draw or lose. And another point I noticed, and it's been like we have been saying that Martinelli has not been playing good. I can really remember a game last 2-3 seasons where if Martinelli played good, Arsenal played bad. Like I can rarely remember such a game. Like if he plays good, he unlocks so much in our team,
100%. Yeah.
because if only Martinelli is good, it's so easy to stop us, because you just stop Saka and that's it. There's nothing. There's no other player. But when Martinelli is on fire like he was against Fulham, and I really feel like Martinelli is probably the key against Real Madrid, because if Saka is a player, yes, obviously Saka is really good, but Real Madrid will know that he's good. Martinelli is the kind of X factor player you like. I remember games like the one we had against City 1-1, like the one which was like the
Yeah.
Rodri last 2-1, I think so.
So
That game, the way he
True.
was cooking Cancelo, like I can, if he can do something like that against a Valverde or a Vasquez, like th- that's for me. I want that kind of Martinelli performance. Like if he can bring
Yeah.
that, if he brings that, I think Real Madrid could be in trouble in the Emirates at least, because at away we don't know what will happen. But Martinelli at home, I think he's a key for us, because yeah, he's the one who's a player who's like so direct, like
He's our only outlet.
yeah.
And
Other
to exploit Rea's defense, you have to have pacey players.
I really liked like in against Fulham, like sometimes the way he was darting in from the wing,
Yeah,
like in the crosses, especially when Saka started crossing the ball in, he was like being the guy coming into the box, like trying to get that second balls, like from even Merino's, like Merino trying to win that or something. So yeah, I just good signs, but I hope he continues it for the Real Madrid game. Yeah.
and also on the same thing, Merino also playing as a center forward when we ended up scoring the second goal. If you see his movements, He knew that Martinelli would carry from the center, so he actually played smart by
Yeah,
making a run and
out wide.
underlap to that run outward. Yeah, so that just proved to be a game-changing aspect that actually showed the smartness of both Martinelli and Merino, because Merino overlapped, but Martinelli continued his run and went to the box, and that flick was just outrageous in its own self.
Uh,
That just reminded
it
me of
was
like a Ozil assist
Merino.
or something.
Yeah, it was Merino who provided the pre-assist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll take a few comments. Sorry for the background music. I hope I. Against Bayern, we had the same moment to Sane, and we were initially in the midfield. Else, someone experienced tackled it,
Yeah.
taking the yellow. But now the team is doing it. Yeah. Sanchit, it's simple. Without an attacking unit, Arteta preferred security over fluidity because he knew we cannot score more than 2-3 goals with this attack. Now Saka,
Yeah.
Gabriel Martinelli, and Merino, we can score more, hopefully,
So far.
and thus he allows players to take the risky pass without the concern. By the way,
This is a good point.
we, how we stop teams from taking shots on goal, and it has become a thing now.
That was my point about the mentality. Like I fear that maybe because he's missing Gabriel, he might be a bit a bit too defensive against Real Madrid. I hope not Arteta, but I hope he doesn't do that. But sometimes he goes into that. If he misses his main plays, he doesn't really.
But can
I
you
understand.
really fault that?
I'm not faulting him. I'm just saying maybe be a bit more adventurous than like being a maybe in Champions League sometimes you even if you play good, especially against Real Madrid, you're going to anyway concede 1 or 2 goals. So maybe just go for it a bit more. I feel. Yeah.
I think in terms of adventurous, Arsenal's X factor in this game would be their fullbacks, because
Hmm.
these fullbacks
Hmm.
Exactly.
can either
Yeah.
invert or make those runs from wider channels and combine as well. But Arsenal being so good and not allowing teams to take shots against them is solely based on how good their positional aspects are, and as to how we hold possession in a game as well. You can see the amount of transitions we've let in our side is the least in the league,
Mhm.
which just
Hmm.
speaks about so much. And that is also a reason as to why people say we ended up putting the most load on our players, where our wingers also end up um tracking back, and that ends up in hamstring injuries, which is surely our next observation for this day, because you see the amount of sprints Arsenal have, it's it's like 16th or something out of 20, and that tells you as to how we control games and not
Hmm.
actually run our players. So yeah.
No,
Uh,
Arteta said the same thing in his press conference, right? Like people only say that we are doing this, that's why we're getting injuries. They don't see the behind the scenes, like how less we are training nowadays, and he said some gave some statistics, but it's just
We talk
as from
about.
outside it's quite easy to say like, oh, hamstring injuries increased because of so and so. Mm.
Mikel Merino as an LCM or Mikel Merino as a striker? Mikel
Right.
Merino for Arsenal. That's all I'm going to say.
It's actually pretty similar. It doesn't matter if he starts as the LCM or the striker, he'll end up in similar positions regardless.
Do you think Mikel Merino is what Arteta wanted Havertz to be when he signed him?
I've had this conversation with Sanchit, and I won't agree, but yeah, there are some similarities in the way they play.
Mikel Merino striking is world class. Yeah, he has a good shot in him.
That shot
I
from the
think
corner, by the way.
I still think
uh,
his Euro goal was
Yeah,
so good against Germany.
dunking on Germany. Yeah. I think Sanchez and you are like, I think this is the point you were talking about, right? But
yeah,
Merino is like
yeah,
doing exactly what is brought in. So Merino is the midfield version of Havertz.
yeah,
And
And
yeah,
Havertz is the midfield version of a
exactly.
striker.
Martinelli versus the right back will be instant. Martinelli always brings his A game against the big teams. And
Mm,
Martinelli versus
And
Valverde.
see, I won't
Could be
say
Vasquez.
much because he's had a very good game, but he brought
You, you,
his A game against a big team named Liverpool, which was managed by Jurgen Klopp, whose right back was Trent.
yeah, that's what I was going to say.
That's still a
Klopp
big
said
team,
it.
bro.
Klopp said it
That's still
because he always used to perform against Liverpool. Yeah,
you know what? We'll
Martinelli.
talk more about the Madrid game on Monday. Definitely
Yeah.
Monday. Let's stick to Arsenal versus Fulham or next Arsenal versus Everton. Because
and
the Monday stream will for sure. Yeah. Good.
and the first time Klopp said that Martinelli is going to be a
Carabao
world-class
Cup.
talent was in the Carabao Cup when he didn't
Yeah,
face Trent, by the way. He
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
faced this guy,
Klein? Was it
Joe
Klein?
Gomez.
No, no,
He
Joe
faced
Gomez.
Joe
Yeah.
Gomez at right back. That's when he said that. And he continued to say the same until Arsenal kept beating Liverpool's ass back in that 22-23 season.
Mm-hmm.
That's obviously because he knew that player from the start, Klopp, for obvious reasons. And that is why he actually backed him up.
No, no, I'm not taking a dig at Martinelli. I'm just saying we should hold on to our horses, man.
The best thing of Martinelli, in
Game
my opinion, is
against
that
a
Martinelli
game
would have
against
cooked with Klopp
a
if he
game
was in
against
Klopp's shoes.
Valverde won't be easy. It
true,
won't.
true. Uh, because Valverde is fast. He's not just like a star. He's just not like a.
Ooh, Valverde is really good. Yeah.
Arteta
Valverde
wanted
might not
Bellingham
even
to be
start the
that.
first leg, by the way. Vasquez
Mm-hmm.
may play the first leg.
True, true. Our system does have a position for Xhaka. The system will change again when we have Zulu 20.
Hmm.
Interesting summer
Ishta
conversation. Wait. Oh, he meant does not. Damn it.
does
Uh,
not have a position for Shaka. It does.
I was about to remind Parth that it was a breakthrough year for Joe Gomez that year too, and he dominated him. Oh yeah. True, true.
I'm not taking a dig at Martinelli. I'm just saying we should be overrating him now. Now that he's
No, I
had a
mean,
good game
at his
against
best,
Who's
Liverpool.
he
overrating?
has. I think at his best, he has taken on many of the
Yeah,
best left back, right backs in
Right
the league.
backs.
Like
I
even,
would certainly, I would certainly hope for him to tear up Real's defense, man. Why wouldn't I?
Mhm.
I
He used to
mean,
take Kyle Walker for a walk, bro.
he
Okay,
Imagine.
yeah, fair enough.
even Cancelo was literally dog
Yep.
walked by him in that Emirates. Like he
Mhm.
couldn't handle him
Remember
that man.
remember the goal we scored in like 20-30 seconds against Liverpool that season also, the run we
Yeah,
made from the left.
Old
Was
Trafford,
Odegaard's
the season we
pass.
lost when Ronaldo
The
was there.
one where they wore the white jersey,
At
Liverpool.
Old Trafford, he went and assisted Odegaard. Like he was so good in that game. Also, I
It's
remember.
not about overhyping, but it's about knowing that this guy can do it. So we're
Yeah,
The
just
thing,
backing
the
him.
thing
and
is, he can do it, but he hasn't shown that level for some time. But he's cutting back.
consistent.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Mm.
But speaking of breakthroughs and not doing well, this was a nice moment, I guess.
Smith, oh man, come on, get over it.
I swear, I agree with that.
Get over it.
I said it was a nice moment. I didn't say.
I mean,
Yeah.
some of the Arsenal fans, it's like it irritates me seeing how much they
No,
cry over to Owen Smith.
I don't think people cry about him anymore because Marco
There
Silva
are
came out.
lots of people, bro.
Bro,
There are
comments.
people who actively miss Emil Smith Rowe because of a
Yeah,
certain number 8 at Arsenal.
I think
I've
I
seen
think
comments
Stanley
like we
fights.
should have kept Emil Smith Rowe and given away Odegaard or something. I've seen comments like that. Yeah.
But
At least for the price he's given us, I think
uh,
just get over it, bro. Because
mhm.
I see lots of
Exactly.
debates of Emil Smith Rowe being the better factor. He was the ball carrier that we needed.
Bro,
He
he
hasn't
didn't
been
play
able
for
to do
two
that
years.
consistently. Yep.
He basically didn't
Emil
play for
Smith
2 years.
Sale is one of the best Arsenal has ever made.
Yeah.
Edu has ever made at least, bro. Yeah.
101%. He was our highest sale
Yeah.
after
He's the
Oxlade
second
Chamberlain.
Chamberlain.
highest. He's the second highest. Yeah.
I
Nah,
think Iwobi was 40, no?
No,
Oh yeah,
Chamberlain
yeah.
is
nah,
No,
30.
no.
again
Yeah. It's Chamberlain.
With
I think
Edu it
it's.
was
Yeah. I think
Smith
he's
Rowe was the
third.
second biggest sale. Second, yeah.
Mhm.
I think
But yeah,
I
it's
mean, come on, we
Chamberlain,
can't
Iwobi,
still
and
be talking about the qualities that Smith
bro.
Rowe has,
And the
man.
Arsenal
He
fans don't
hasn't been able to
realize.
show it on a consistent basis. So,
No, no. The Arsenal fans don't realize that even Fulham fans are not fully sold on him. Like I've seen even
hmm,
Fulham fans like commenting that why the hell did we sign him? He doesn't do
yeah.
anything. Like
Mhm.
he like he was a good player, but honestly he's lost a lot of his good stuff. Like he needs to regain it, or I don't know, is it gone
100%.
or yeah, whatever.
I
But
think he's also put on weight and he's looked a bit heavy and his
Suchi,
agility
we know
has taken
this.
a
We
big,
know
Man,
big.
one
he
of our
Arush is doing the Pep Guardiola to Calvin Phillips treatment.
no. It's true because me and Suchit have a friend who like kind of knows some stuff about us, and he told that a lot of the like even the backroom staff has said that he doesn't follow proper diets like in the
Mhm.
like he's
Yeah,
not
and
serious about his diets and all.
sometimes you can't blame it also because they've had their injuries. But
Mm.
lots of players are there, for examples, who look very bulky but can't move as the way you'd see a striker who's of that height. Because of that height, you'd find someone being a attacking midfielder have good ball carrying that he used to have when he broke out the scenes. So I think
Mm-hmm.
injuries has ruined that for him.
I think it's just Arsenal fans I have some problem with getting over nostalgia. Honestly, like they can't. I seen like compilations of 2021 season. Like, come on, man, it's over. They're like replaying the Brentford goal which is scored.
See, we can just agree that like how Anu says, ESR has that Haaland DNA in him. He carries us through the
Yeah,
tough.
Yeah.
See, he's been plagued with
100%.
injuries. He's been he's been a great service. He's been a great service for us, and he's been plagued with injuries. And
He's
another
the
reason,
reason why Arteta still has a job, by the way.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
true,
No.
and we've been plagued with injuries. Margulies, man, like wrong timing. See, I know nobody will talk about it because we've been the kind of people who don't talk about injuries. But how the hell is Partey not injured in this season while the rest of the entire squad is? Even David Raya,
Some
even
juju.
David Raya,
He did
even
some juju
David
for
Raya got
sure.
injured and came back. Like, who has not gotten injured this season?
He did some deal with someone that I'll not be injured the whole season, but injure my teammate one by one for me.
Crazy.
Oh my god! And then a bunch of people are claiming that we didn't rotate Pagal is enough to start.
Nah, this is
Bro, this
ridiculous.
is honestly, I have been saying this. Like, I have had this debate with so many Arsenal fans. They
Hmm.
believe that every match should be rotated.
Hmm.
Like, there are some Arsenal fans who believe that we
Hmm.
need to rotate in every match. Like, which I
Hmm.
don't get.
See,
But then
the,
once you
And
rotate, you say that it's not against this team. Then it
yeah,
comes against
exactly, that's what I'm
Premier League
saying.
teams you can't rotate, and then you're losing as to why is this player coming off the bench for you
Hmm.
and stuff
Hmm.
like that. It just
Hmm.
doesn't keep making sense for us because then they'll say, "Oh, Arteta signed Kivior as the backup." But then when
Hmm.
he played good, why were you backing up then?
See,
When the run in last
and
season was great, why were you just backing up when he was
no,
in your
and tell me
winning?
which coach in his right mind changes his stable CB partnership. Like,
Exactly.
CB is the most important like
happen ever.
partnership on the pitch. They
Hmm.
never break
Bro,
it up unless you're injured. Yeah,
once we rotated against PSV and after leading like 7-1, people were complaining why Gabriel was not rested that game.
Uh,
When you have Kivior playing out of position to cover Saliba, who's covered the most minutes for Arsenal this season,
hmm. Hmm.
and
Hmm.
Gabriel, for instance, hasn't even played more minutes than Van Dijk, who's
Hmm.
winning the Premier League now, then
Yeah.
you'll say that he didn't get the rest. But then
Hmm.
he is one of the defenders who played the least minutes in the international break. He got himself a yellow card so that he would
Hmm.
get the rest in the second game, go to watch his home club, Corinthians, win whatever title they had.
Yeah.
Then he came back to
Hmm.
train. That too
Hmm.
one day late, and he
Yeah.
still picked up an injury.
Hmm.
Sometimes you just can't define everything because the amount of hamstring injuries that it's happening this season, you're having four per week,
Hmm.
which is
Hmm.
like 118 already this season. That is excluding Gabriel.
I think
And like,
136 in total, if I'm
look
not
at
wrong.
yeah,
and look at our
that's
left back
including
position. You
this.
can say from our left back position how much Arteta rotates. I haven't seen Calafiori get a proper run of games. MLS is now the
But
only one who's
but
getting
that
a pro.
Calafiori needs to stay fit, na?
No, yeah,
Because how?
that's what I'm saying. Even when he was fit, Arteta was like wary of the players. Like, there are certain players that they are injury prone, so you make them have their minutes. And Gabriel, he has had his niggles, but he's never been known as an
The
injury prone
the
player.
the
Like,
last thing I would criticize Arteta on this season would be rotation because
exactly.
yes, you can say that over the last two seasons he hasn't rotated as much because when you're competing for the title, your best players have to play every game. Keeping that in mind, this season it has always been Martinelli, Trossard who've been interchanging who've been interchanging minutes on the left hand side. As striker, it's been Trossard or Havertz or Merino. On the right hand side, game time has been given to Sterling and Vaneri. And even in the midfield, when we've had Rice out, Merino has played, Jorginho has played. When we've had Odegaard out, again Merino has played there. And in the defense, we have given the minutes when the minutes had to be given. And
That's what.
exactly as Aru said, you cannot rest your center backs for no reason. They Either of the two will have to play a game, because if both Saliba and Gabriel are rested, who would be your centre back pairing? It would be Ben White and Calafiori, or Ben White and Kivior. White wasn't available this season. It isn't Arteta's fault. Calafiori was injured. It isn't Arteta's fault. Now Kivior can't play with a right centre back who we have, because we don't have a right centre back other than White and Timber. So if Timber plays at right centre back, who plays at right back?
No, I
So
think we should
I'll
blame
t-
Martin for not
I
having
f-
rights.
no,
We sold
I feel like
we sold Rob Holding, like a world class Rob Holding we sold. It is Arteta's fault.
no.
Let
What
him
I feel, right? A lot of people, their understanding of squad building is so rudimentary. It's almost they believe it's like FIFA. Like you have one right back, you
yep,
put another back. You take a left back, you take another. Like it doesn't work like that. You need to. You can't like cover every position in the team. Like it's impossible. Like you need to have guys who are like must play players. Like
and
you
then
see every team has it. Like you see Liverpool.
Also,
Why don't Liverpool rest Van Dijk? You will tell next Liverpool fans should complain about Van Dijk not getting rest. I've seen him play
it's
every
just
game.
that it's
Like,
just that they aren't being called out because Liverpool hasn't had these many injuries this season.
exactly.
So
If
and this was literally us last season, by the way. And we had a
yep,
lesser sample squad that we played with. We had like an average of 17 to 18 players that we played. And the season before that, no, I think we had 18 to 19, and the season before that we had like 16 to 17. And this season we have 21. Why? Because MLS and Ethan Waneri are promoted to this team. Not
exactly.
officially, but it's also an emergency situation. Then you'd say that we have to build our squads bigger. Then if you compare this to what the likes of Liverpool and City have, Suchit has the slide, by the way. So if you compare it to them, we are literally utilizing the same squad. The amount of numbers and the amount of minutes has been better than those two. But then you'd say
100%.
that squads need to be maximized, and like you need extra players. Arteta doesn't rotate. But do you realize that you need to actually make investments for that? Do you realize that the key players also need to be rested so that they get a chance, they stay happy? No, you don't. You bring out
no,
facts that Arsenal have the most hamstring injuries. They don't have the most hamstring injuries. Spurs have the most hamstring injuries. Who's going to talk about it? They don't
I've
play a
seen
defensive side of game. They don't play a defensive
exactly.
side of game. They
No,
still
no,
have
I've
the
seen
most.
people like complain like I remember there was a Carabao Cup match, I think against Preston or whatever, and then Saka came on for the last 25 minutes. They started crying that why are you bringing Saka? The game is over. Then they like you need to understand that there is match fitness and being sharp. Like you just if you play one, and why hamstring injury happens is because when it's like there's too much like stop start like then you suddenly you're putting so
Yeah,
much strain on your hamstring. So if you need to be in that match condition for a longer time, that's what Arteta basically said in his conference,
yep,
that because we
exactly. Yeah,
train
And
less.
this is not only Arteta, by the way. This was Klopp last season
Klopp.
when he said
Yeah,
that his players were being overworked because of the amount of fixtures that is there. Imagine a footballer who plays international level football having 50 plus games a season, then having no international break, having no preseason break, then having no gaps in a week because you have to play in Europe. Then the same Arteta factor that he said that when
no,
your muscle tendon doesn't get the rest for 2 days, it's accustomed to getting overloaded the next time he
Yep.
plays the game. So it
the
just
really
doesn't make
interesting
sense.
use case like sorry the really interesting real life case will be like seeing how City and Chelsea fare in terms of injuries next season, because they have Club World Cup this season, and
Yep.
then I think they're going to have a lot of injuries next season. Yeah,
Yep.
because their players are not going to have any rest
Yep.
basically.
That is
Yeah.
that is the only call I have about football tribalism that there exists. Because last season when Klopp was saying that they've got injuries, everyone was like, "Why is Klopp making excuses now that he's not winning the league?" And with Arteta, it's the same thing. Why is he complaining that he's injuries? Why doesn't he realize that he has a shit team and he's a shit manager? So again, it's all either black or white. Nothing is grey.
No,
People don't
there's no
seem to use
logic.
their mind.
There's no logic. Yeah, exactly.
And this
If
was this was literally Rodri who predicted this last season in his interview, saying that majority of the people are gonna get ACLs next season because of the amount of load of game. Go to see who only ended up getting the ACL.
yeah,
We'll take in few comments and then get to the number side of things. Okay. Anna says actually I want Gabriel to make the celebration of Rudiger and get, but he got injured.
He probably
Uh,
get hamstring by doing the celebration. Yeah,
any team which rotates a lot isn't a good team. A top team is a stable team with confirmed starting level. Just think about what you.
100%.
exactly, exactly.
Yep.
No, only thing Kala has stepped. Oh God.
No, no.
See,
When
see,
he has,
So
Kala
he's
Fury's fashion
single.
sense is better. Kala Fury's fashion sense is still better than Kunde. Beat that.
I
yeah,
think
no.
Kala Fury single-handedly is leading the L'Oreal Paris
Yep.
sponsorship for
Yeah,
Arsenal. Single-handedly.
Yeah, but
Man,
like, let's.
Turkey won't be a destination now for people, man.
Mm-hmm. But let's
I mean,
talk serious, right? When bunch
say
of injuries have been occurring, a lot of research has been done, and there has been a study that has been making the rounds yesterday, day for yesterday, and depending on wherever you're in the world. And I did a small compilation. I might have missed a point or two. If you guys have read it, do let me know. I definitely have the research link, a research paper link in the description, so do check it out. This is what I made a small compilation of. So, key alarming stats: hamstring injuries have doubled from 12% of all injuries in 2001 to 2 to 24% in 21-22. Absence days due to hamstring injuries have doubled from 10% to 20% of total injuries layoffs days. Match injury rate is 10 times higher than training, and 18% of hamstring injuries are recurrences, with 69% of them happening within the first 2 months. So we should be very about Saka's injury and all.
Mhm.
Because remember when Martinelli had his hamstring injury, he came back and then got injured like within the 2 months. Remember, that is another thing. Recent trends: 2014 2021, training injuries increased by 6.7% per year. Match injury rate increased by 3.9%. And the causing factors, which everyone has been raving about, that this could be the reasons. High instant intensity action in modern football, because fast sprints, more
yeah. That's what I was
explosive.
going to say. The game is so much faster now.
But we'll come to this. Just remember this causing factor, because we have like another slide which talks about like why this could not be a reason. Crowded game characters. Agreed. Rodri has put out this, and not just Rodri. I think KDB and even
Koundé
uh,
also came out to say
yeah,
this recently.
Kunde also came out
No,
and spoke about
like as
this.
Parth said, Klopp has been saying this for years. Honestly, like I
True.
think from the moment he entered the league, he's been saying it. Like to be
Mhm.
honest, like
Yeah. Another reason is travel plus preseason tools cutting into conditioning and recovery.
Yeah.
yeah, that's so true.
18% of hamstring injuries are repeated injuries. Yep. Recurrence is 9 times more likely during matches than training. People should remember that. 70% of those happen within the first 2 months of returning. Yeah, first 2 months, all these are repeated. Okay. Remember the point: high intensity actions. Well, I thought the next, yeah, this one. Right. If you thought that was the reason why Arsenal has a lot of injuries, no. We're 19th in the table, which is 125 sprints per game when compared to Tottenham 175. And look at them suffering. Right? And remember the point where Arush was mentioning, when compared to Van Dijk, Magalhaes has played lesser games. Well,
He certainly has, bro. And you
uh,
see the sample size of amount of squad members used. You see Arsenal in that list? Look at the amount of players utilized. And look at the
uh,
amount of players utilized by City and Liverpool.
yeah. Arush, if you could just explain how the graph could be understood by people, because I was struggling a bit.
Um,
Maybe you could explain.
yeah, it's a bit small for me here, so let me just get into the camera. But here on the x-axis, what you see is it's numbers, right? Okay. So x-axis is basically the amount of matches played by a player in the squad.
Y-axis, Y-axis.
My access.
Okay. Y-axis. Okay, my math is bad, bro. So y-axis is basically the amount of matches played by a player, and on the x-axis, it basically denotes amount of minutes that is completed per game. So for obvious reasons, you've seen Saliba lead the charts for that, and you see most of the defenders lead the charts. I can't read it from here because it's too small for me, but that just shows a pattern as to how the key players are obviously going to be utilized and being played the most minutes. And then you compare that of Van Dijk to Saliba, who's played the same number of games, but he's played lesser number of minutes, Gabriel.
Mhm.
And that is good for him, right? Because he's played lesser minutes in a game. That just says that he he's lesser. There are chances of injuries getting to him lesser than what it is for Van Dijk. But then luck happens, shit happens, and that shit has
Exactly.
happened now.
No,
You'd
and I
say,
also feel like people don't fail to realize that you know the rotated players are in a rotation for a reason. Like they're on the bench for a reason. They're not good enough. Like and when these not good enough players, like when they're not good enough to start, when they play against like say like for example Fulham, they're basically gonna play one match a week. So their players are fresh, ready to go, and that's their starting 11. They are like on it, and then you bring a bench player who's not been match fit, like who's okay, he's he's fit but he's not in that match zone yet, and then you're not gonna you and to then expect him to go and beat Fulham. It's like it's unrealistic. Like you
Hmm.
don't you need to understand that. But
and
that's
center
the thing.
back is basically a position which needs the most communication in a team because you
Exactly.
can't afford to leave spaces. And you see, it's not English or Spanish that Saliba and Gabriel converse when they converse in French because it's both their um, preferred language because Gabriel had quite a lot of time he spent in France, while Saliba is obviously French. And that difference is very obviously seen between a Kivior and a Saliba partnership, or even a Gabriel and Kivior partnership. Communication is key for centre backs. And the languages that this guy can communicate, Kivior is basically an Italian or basically an English, which is half decent in comparison to what
Fever is
Saliba.
Polish. Fever
No,
is
but he can
Polish.
Yeah,
speak
but he
But
spent
Italian,
he
he
Syria.
speaks
learned
Italian,
Italian.
and Polish people speak Italian. So basically, that also plays a factor. Then you'd say players also end up traveling a lot. Traveling obviously has a major this thing because you see pre-seasons also happen. You don't see them get the rest, but then traveling through time zones, getting that recovery, all of that is a big factor. Then you'd say that why did Arsenal go to Dubai for their fitness thing? The Dubai training was basically to ease down their training. It
Yeah.
wasn't to play with the same tempo and intensity that they do in England. And that weather is completely different to what it would be in London. So blaming Havertz's injury on going to Dubai is purely just not sensical because that's not factually backed or data doesn't even say that. You can just compare the weathers and the amount of training that they've put, or you could just go on the Arsenal YouTube channel and see the drills that they've done in that. You see the intensity in the drills,
No,
it's
no,
completely different.
the players themselves have said they were much more recharged after going to Dubai last
Yeah.
season.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I mean, that's what, no, like, see, Dan put that's what happens when things are going bad. You tend to like blame someone or something
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
so that you feel better. That's been a life thing that's been happening within football. So, the easy scapegoat is to blame the manager for not rotating. Hey, but a simple point: who rotates a centre back player? Nobody. I mean, there is a reason why it's called a centre back pairing. Na?
Unless you're like spoiled with options, or you
Hmm.
just have the money to like
100%.
keep anyone happy with just
Hmm.
minimal minutes and stuff like that.
Hmm. Hmm. Hmm.
I
Yeah.
also
Tell
read a
me,
stat. Yeah.
tell me a time where Van Dijk and Konate were rotated in the Premier League. Even against Southampton, both of them played. The only time Van Dijk was not partnered with Konate was when Konate got injured. So they were forced into a change. That wasn't a change that was made voluntarily. So it's just that it's been Arsenal who's suffered these crazy amount of
No, and
injuries. That is why we are being talked about, and not Liverpool. Had
not
Liverpool
only
faced a
centre
similar
back
fate,
pairings, like if you see Liverpool, Salah plays every game. Like he
yeah,
plays like
Salah hasn't
every game.
gotten injured. That is why nobody is
Yeah.
talking about him.
Even Gravenberg, as Suchit pointed out, like he has been playing almost every game.
Yeah,
And it's like that. Arteta has said this many times. Like he said it when Saka just started breaking into the team. That if he, I already told I remember him exactly word to word. He said this that I told him that every top player plays 60 to 70 games a season. Like,
Yep.
and that's if you want to be a top player, you have to play that kind of minutes.
and
And
also
again, it's
this
just
fan base. Yeah, this fan base is pretty funny because now the discourse is if Merino is doing everything that Havertz can, so why did we sign Merino? All right, had we not signed Merino, we wouldn't have had a striker. And had we not signed Merino, we wouldn't have anyone playing up front if Havertz was to be benched.
And
So
had Arteta not made this decision, by the
if
way,
you, yep, if you have a squad, it's a problem. If you don't have a squad, it's a problem. If you have two players competing for a position, you have a problem. So,
and
No,
that is
and
that is what we saw with City with Haaland and Alvarez at the end. They couldn't
yep,
get the best out of him. They sold him. They made profit out of it. They got Marmoush.
no, that's the
That's
thing.
just
Like
how it
if you
is.
see, even like people say like you should top players should get rest, but like you take like Cristiano Ronaldo, you take Lionel Messi when they were at their peak, every game they used to play. Like I don't even remember them not playing a game. Like you watch Real Madrid, Ronaldo is there. You watch Barca, Messi is playing. They're playing against Leganes. I remember Messi playing against Leganes and Levante and all. Like he Barca don't even need Messi to beat Leganes and Levante.
All you need to do to see this is basically check out how many times they came off the bench. Never. Literally
Yeah,
never in their
never.
stints for a whole season. And that's the case with Mbappe as well. Mbappe,
And
yeah, he got injured this season for Real Madrid. But apart from that, he started every game. He's never
and
come
people
off
fail
the
to
bench.
realize that the top players they hate getting benched. Like the
Yep.
top players,
exactly.
they will not be happy if you bench them.
Bro, if you
Yeah,
are a child trying to break out of under 12s, under 14, I have experienced this myself. If you are benched to another player, you feel so bad about it that you want to perform better to get a spot in that team. And that's just how you get better at the game as well. And that just
yeah,
again comes back to your mentality, how you train and condition yourself to particular game states and all of that. But um, another aspect of availability being key is that of Ben White, I'd say, because last season he pushed himself because Timber and Tomiyasu weren't there as options.
that was
Why
going
do
to be
you
my
think he's
point.
injured now? Why do you think he's injured now? He took that load on his knee last season. He took that
Yeah.
load on his hamstring last season, and he's continued it till now, which needed a surgery, and now he's out for 4 months. And now we have everyone asking why is he not available for the Real Madrid game? It
No,
also comes back to this.
that's what I'm saying. That was going to be my next point. That's why Arteta had to sell some of his bench players because they were. I feel they became content being bench players. Like they weren't like pushing anymore to become like the first team guys. Like for example, like a lot of guys were not happy that we sold a Reece Nelson or a Smith Rowe. I feel that they were content being okay. We'll come in the bench. We'll play the 10-15 minutes and it's okay. And we are Arsenal players. Like you want a bench that is going to push like your first team to like perform better, and then inversely performing like motivating the bench to play better. I think that wasn't happening anymore
This
at
all of
uh,
this comes with good squad management and good man management, which most of the managers don't have. How many times have you heard of managers having a fallout with the players, with the bench players? It happens a lot because
hmm,
managing players is an art. And if you say that, okay, we've got a small squad, we'll get in more players. All right, if you get in more players, how would you share the minutes? Because the players that will come will want to start every game, and the ones that start every game will not like to get benched. So how do you manage it? And if you want more players, then you have to have certain sections which otherwise won't be possible, because not every player is the same. I mean, a Jakub Kivior will be content being on the bench, but then you're like, Kivior isn't Arsenal quality. So if you get a better footballer, then it would be that that footballer and Arteta don't get along. So it's a cycle.
yeah. No, and I feel in this case, like sometimes having academy players in your bench can be kind of detrimental because I feel an academy player will be sometimes okay with just being in the squad. Like for him, like sometimes being into the first team is enough. Like for example, I always go back to Reece Nelson because I feel there was genuinely a player in him. Like if he wanted to, he could
Of
have
course.
genuinely been a really good player because he had the qualities. But I feel he became content with like just being that guy that come and give a cameo, come and give a cameo. And I feel that time sometimes you need to have players like Kivior is not good enough, but whenever I seen him play, I feel that he's so motivated to become a good player. Like
Yep.
like like he doesn't have that talent maybe, of the Gabriel or a Saliba, but he always seemed motivated. Whenever I used to see some of our academy guys come like from the bench, I never felt that like, oh, I want to just become better. Like Saka had it. I see with Navanari, I see it with MLS, but I never see it with Reese, and even by the end with ESR also, I found that missing. Like I felt that motivation was gone.
And
So
I
yeah,
think
it's
the common aspect between an ESR and Reece Nelson is injuries again.
yeah,
Hmm.
They've had a lot of period of time where they both have gone abroad and they've spent the whole loan abroad on the bench because of injury.
yeah,
And they'd never managed to get a chance after that. And they just came back to Arsenal, waited for the second try, and then managed to get a chance and make some cameos.
With
exactly.
Reese, right? He's always getting into form, and once he'll have 1 or 2 games in form and then gets injured. Like it's
Yeah.
just
Even with Fulham, it happened. He started
uh,
well and then
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
injured. Yeah,
we
Considering
take
all
him.
our injuries this season, Reece Nelson is our sixth player to hit hamstring and like the
Mhm.
fourth player or fifth player to get a surgery done.
Oh yeah, Tomiyasu, Saka, Ben White, Jesus.
Havertz,
Yeah,
people
Havertz.
forget about Tomiyasu. Like
uh,
he's such a like reliable player if he's fit. Like and he
he's
can play
missed
every
all
position.
games this season.
Yeah, like
All.
we'll take in few comments. My only grip with Arsenal is that Arteta's opinion about the squad and her actions are contradicting. When Arteta was asked about increasing number of competitions, he said squad size must increase, but we started the season with the smallest, clearly Boris to be blamed. Oh,
Yeah.
agreed, agreed,
the thing
agreed.
is,
That's the
yeah.
bet he took.
I mean, I think it's out of his hand. Like he would have obviously loved a long bigger squad, but I
Mm.
think the board didn't back him enough. Yeah, like even in winter he wanted Watkins. That was a established fact. Like he wanted to sign Watkins, but the
Yeah.
board said no.
We
Yeah,
could see that Havertz was struggling. He was grabbing his knee at the end of every game, and
The
we
Wolves
still
game,
didn't have
especially.
any striker to play because Jesus was out with an ACL, and Merino, for obvious reasons, wasn't being considered as a striker. So it is not Arteta's fault. Arteta has tried to make whatever he's had with the squad, and that is the reason we are still second in the league and in the quarterfinals.
yeah,
Then
I
again,
agree.
without backing, you can't do much.
Arnav, bye guys. Got college tomorrow. There's a presentation. All the best. I think we'll meet before the middle game. Huh? Good luck for your
Yeah,
presentation. Good
All the
night. And
best.
yeah, definitely on Monday we'll meet. Monday for sure we're meeting. It's going to be an all Arsenal, just Arsenal talk. So yeah, do be there. I read the description of the stream, bro. Missed a lot. You missed a lot, or we missed a lot because there's some more content to cover. Because I thought this was nice.
what is
Arsenal,
this now?
Arsenal do want to like take their loan or do want to take their academy strategy into like proper seriousness, and they send some of their people to I forgot, can't read it exactly. Ah, yeah, to Viking, a Norwegian club. Basically, they want to study how Norway, with such a population, is able to create so many superstars like Odegaard, Haaland,
Hmm.
They
Naipan,
should they should
Demba.
also come to India once, by the way.
That is
The
true.
amount
That is
of
true.
talents we produce.
Yeah. Um, Something that is beyond Premier League, I thought we could like talk about briefly, is the Bundesliga. Bayern and Bayer Leverkusen are going at each other. I think there are like 5 to 6 games remaining, and still a 6 points gap.
Yeah.
Clearly thought Bayern would lose or would drop points, but then they did win it in the end. And yeah, it's nice to see.
If you talk about Premier League intensity, look at the injury Bayern has suffered. Bayern are in injury issues, so many injury issues. I think they lost Davies, they lost Upamecano,
Uh,
and they lost like a few other
another,
players.
yeah, another centre back was. They'll basically lost 3 defenders,
Yeah,
Ito, the
and they're
Japanese
going to
guy.
yeah.
and they're
Ito.
going
Kim
to
Min
face.
Jae. Nahi. Ocho acha
No,
nahi. He's
Ito,
Korean.
Ito,
Sorry.
Ito.
Sorry.
Ito.
Sorry. Sorry.
So they're going to Inter Milan without Upamecano, Ito, and Davies.
Davies.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And they're going to face Barca.
I feel Inter has a proper chance to beat Bayern.
Inter
Honestly,
will win against Bayern, man.
yeah,
It is
Inter have
that's
a
what.
achievable.
best chance to
But I
beat
meant, I
Liverpool.
meant,
Only thing
I
Bayern must
consider
be
I
like,
consider in, I consider Inter to be the favorites to win the Champions League.
Inter
oh
could have a real treble winning season, by the way.
yeah, I said it. I said this before. Inter has the best one thing which is no other club has right now is that their squad is the most coherent. Like they have so been together for so long now. They
That's just
basically
Inzaghi, bro.
they just know what to do. Their players don't need to think before playing. Yeah, like they know
Exactly.
their game plan. Yeah,
They've got good attackers as well.
and oh yeah, it's
And
gonna
this
be
was,
fun.
oh, this was something. Like the coincidence is one thing, and then like it's going to be an El Clasico Copa del Rey final. I don't know about you guys, but since Ronaldo and Messi left, right, I didn't really find it interesting to watch
Yeah,
Clasico.
obviously,
Eh,
it lost
And I
its
the
glamour.
combination.
Yeah,
and I thought like since last season, the way Yamal and Vinicius, I mean not just Yamal, like Yamal and Vinicius are like two performing people, right? So I thought it got a little bit more interesting, and I think I will definitely tune into this.
Don't you
What about you
also
guys?
think that El Clasicos have like just double, tripled up every season now?
hmm.
Like there
Yeah.
are four or
Oh,
five El
yeah.
Clasicos that keep happening, bro. That just spoils
Mhm.
the whole mega event that an El Clasico
No,
is.
but I mean it's not necessary because I think the season, there was a season where there were six El Clasicos when Messi and
Yeah,
Ronaldo were at their peak. They met in the Champions
I'm
League
just
semi-final, Copa del Rey final, and then they met in the league two times. And that
Mhm.
each game felt big. That I think it was. I honestly felt it was because Barca went a bit down in the between, like they were not
Uh,
having the kind of players. But now with
okay.
Yamal coming back, with Yamal being up, and then with Mbappe, Vinicius. Now, honestly, now it's like it feels like a proper top fixture. Like you
Mhm.
know,
Thomas, Ainsley, Ferran Torres has 60. He has
Crazy.
damn
yeah,
60.
yep.
bro, he's been
And
playing really good actually.
he
Yeah.
still has the most goals off the bench also.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, off the bench. Yeah, I'm aware of that stuff. Ainsley, would you start Ferran Torres or?
Lewandowski.
Yeah, I know what's Ainsley's answer. I just want him to succeed. Like, who would you start Ainsley?
Bro, they have like Lewandowski firing in La Liga,
Mm.
then Rafinha pulling up in Champions League. Everyone have their own
That's why I was
competition that
surprised.
they.
Bart said Inter is the favorite. I still feel
No.
Barca is
Nah,
good.
Inter is one team that can dominate Barca, apart
Yeah,
from an Arsenal.
I feel
I would
cohesiveness.
always rate a very good defense against a very good attack.
Yeah, that's
Ferran
what
Torres
Inter has a
started.
most cohesive team. So I also feel that they are being so underrated by most of the fans. Yeah,
Mhm.
that's one.
Yeah, football is one thing, and another thing that we all are Indians, and cricket is in our blood. And I thought we could talk a little bit about cricket, man. Like, oh
By
god.
the way, Hardik Pandya got a fifer, bro. What era are we living in?
What?
Wait. Let me spoil it for you, bro. Lucknow still managed to score 200 plus with this fifer.
I'm just looking at Crickbus right now. What the fuck?
Wow. Mumbai almost chased the score, bro. What the fuck?
I thought
How much is
after
it?
two game weeks,
28 and
right?
11 with
After two game weeks,
Anaman.
I think Punjab are the most complete team. I know, but what do you guys think? I think Punjab.
All
I
the
said it.
trophy virgins.
I didn't say it to you, but I felt Punjab was really strong in the moment.
Mm-hmm. Punjab.
Especially after Champions Trophy, a lot of their players started playing good. Like you know, like
Champions
Oh,
Trophy.
okay.
They have Alex Carey also, right? Punjab.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What?
They
they
do.
have Carey. Yeah, they have Carey,
He hasn't even played
and they
much.
have English also. I think so.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Josh English is
John.
there, I know.
Yeah,
But I think
The,
Shreyas Iyer as a player,
Mm-hmm.
since he got kicked out from the BCCI contract,
yeah,
yeah,
has
yeah.
he's
been
been very, very
unreal,
He
good.
bro.
he played really good.
Unreal player, dude. I've always rated him, but yeah, injuries kind of plagued his progress and
Damn,
everything.
Surya Kumar stepped up today, bro.
Uh-huh.
Well, SRH is
And
gone, man. Honestly,
GT is another very strong.
Saraj.
And then there is my team SRH, man.
SRH.
Wow.
I told you Suchit that this season SRH is going to be bad. Yeah,
So that
it's
is
such a
true.
hit and
Yeah.
miss
See,
tactics.
whatever happens, this is me.
Basically,
This is me.
basically this is an SRH's Tottenham. They're gonna entertain you, but it's either going to be by being absolutely amazing or being absolutely
या तो विनय या तो लर्न है.
That is like an FC Goa, bro.
KKR, man, I just can't. Like, bro, what of
Man,
it?
Siraj getting a 3 for against RCB, man. Nah.
I
3
see
for
one wicket.
19, that too. A 3
Uh,
for 19. Nah,
That
nah,
was
nah.
nice. I don't like
I
Siraj
told
too much, but I like that.
I told you about firecrackers going on around here, right? There was
uh,
no
yeah.
firecracker after this game.
Thank God, man.
Bro, the crowd in Bengaluru for this game, by the way, because
Hmm.
the Bengaluru FC's stadium and RCB
Hmm.
stadium is literally 1 kilometer apart, and the amount
Oh,
of people that were there for just this crowd, bro, and there were people literally wearing RCB kits in the football ground, bro, because they couldn't end up getting tickets over there.
Hmm.
for me, the one of the best moments in IPL was the two fours to Rohit Sharma and then out the Siraj wicket of Rohit Sharma. Like Rohit
Oh
Sharma
yeah,
hit
Yeah,
two.
yeah, yeah.
That was awesome. Like that's proper cricket. Like getting hit for two fours and
Mohammad
then taking it.
Siraj, man.
No, and Rohit Sharma came out and said, right, the whole reason we dropped Siraj is because he's not effective. And then he
Exactly.
takes 3 wickets. Bro, peak shit, man. Peak shit.
bro. Why was Siraj dropped from the last India tournament
Ah, that is
championship?
what.
That is
Because
the thing.
in Rohit Sharma's opinion, spinners had a major say
Yeah, but
in Dubai.
why take Harshit Rana over Siraj? Like it didn't make sense
Man,
to me.
Harshit
Ah,
And
Rana is even worse,
considering
man.
Bumrah wasn't
Exactly.
even there,
No,
Siraj
and
ain't that bad of an option.
Siraj is better than Harshit Rana. But I personally I don't rate Siraj a lot, because I feel
Harshit Rana gained a cricketing career because of that one celebration scandal, man.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's
And I
all.
think another guy in the same books is Vaibhav Arora, bro. Can we
NPCs,
just
man,
be
both of them.
no,
Yeah,
I thought Vaibhav Arora kind of bowls well. Don't you guys
yeah,
think?
but he ends up conceding a lot as well, right?
I
And
agree
the
with
two,
NPC comment. These guys are like
yes, man.
players. Like in
Harsh,
the end, like you'll just remember them as good IPL bowlers. They're not international bowlers. Like
Hmm.
I don't feel it. Yeah,
and that too, to get 3 wickets against SRH, who don't know how to bat outside of a highway, it's not that impressive, man. Come on.
Damn, bro. Damn.
It's either highway or a no way, bro.
Yeah,
I mean, fair
Uh,
play to them, man. They're managing to get the dot balls for the amount
you,
of
you,
piece
you,
being
you guys
wasted.
you guys saw what just happened.
what?
They subbed off Tilak Verma for Santner.
What?
no,
Wasn't
Tilak
Tilak
Verma is
Verma just
retired
batting?
hurt. Retired hurt.
That, that's
Or,
retired hurt.
Retired
Okay,
hurt.
okay, okay.
Retired hurt.
at least we've got one win, man. And we beat last year's champions, so yeah, it's all good.
When you say we, who do you mean?
MI,
MI, man, come on.
MI.
My
He's an MI fan.
okay.
Arush is CSK. We both are SRH.
Uh,
No, I am only
first I'm
SRH
a
because I am
Thala,
from Hyderabad. Otherwise, I have no
first I'm a
connection to
first
SRH.
I'm a Thala fan, then I'm an MI fan. So yeah,
Thala,
I'm getting my
everyone is a
priorities
Thala.
straight, man.
Thala. No, I am a George D92 fan. That's all.
Hmm.
George D92 is a goat. Whoever he is, that
28
guy.
of 7.
We need to find some George
22 need of
D92
6, bro.
for our channel.
22 of 6, 22 of the last over. What do you think?
28 of
Who's
6.
bowling the last over?
We never know.
Shardul probably?
Hardik Pandya is on strike. That's what we know.
Nah,
Shardul.
he'll block 3 balls and
He'll
then
block the
act like
I
first.
nothing's happened.
He'll block the
either
first ball and then
Shardul
he'll
or
be like,
Avesh ball.
he'll be like, he'll be like, he'll be like this.
But Tilak
Well,
Verma, like,
we didn't
absolutely
even
flopped it.
play Rohit Sharma. He wasn't even an
Injured.
impact
Yeah,
player.
he's
He's
injured,
injured.
right?
He's
I
in, he's in.
injured,
Injured.
man. This is that back spasm shit that the
No,
Indian
it's a
cricket
knee
team gives,
injury. It's
man.
a
Injury.
knee
Injury.
injury.
And
Injury.
this is the exact same thing that the Indian cricket team does to a player when they want to
They
drop
want
him.
to,
They
yeah,
just, they just
like
say that he's got a back
random
spasm.
phantom injuries. Yeah, phantom injuries. This is so
Uh,
true. They because they
Yep.
don't have the guts to say we dropped him, so they'll be like,
Avesh
he's
Khan.
injured, he's injured. Havish Khan,
Rohit
22 will
Sharma,
be given.
Rohit Sharma is
Don't worry.
that Vinicius clip, man. He's playing against us. When Benzema said that he's playing against us.
But honestly, if you see Vinicius' redemption story was insane. Bro was so ass
Yeah, too hard,
when
man.
he started,
so,
and
so
then
That
the,
guy
the,
could do everything apart from
that's good.
finishing his chances,
yeah,
man.
Bro. For 2 years, he was so shit. Yeah. Oh, Avesh Khan last over.
He might give
God,
22 runs,
this
honestly.
Navish
Six,
Khan.
first ball, six.
First ball six actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
It's still getting
Nah,
old for me.
man.
What the hell?
Nah, please pull it off, man. Like, start
How shit
Hotstar
is
here.
Rishabh Pant, man? 27
Man,
crore.
he's at
He
2
scored
of
two today,
5,
bro.
2 of 6. He hasn't scored anything, man. It's weird.
Oh, what a shot. Oh, Hardik, what a shot. Damn, bro, I didn't see that
What did
happening.
he do? What did he do?
I don't know how many of you guys have played that cricket 24 game, right?
Oh yeah,
There's a in that
on the
game, like
PC, right?
whenever I watch Rishabh and it reminds me of that. In that game, when you play in Test cricket, it's easy to hit a lot of runs quickly because everyone's like close by, like the
Yeah, yeah.
fielders. And then when
Mhm.
the game like makes all the fielders go like far
What
apart, you
happened
can't
second ball
score.
of the over?
Uh, Still it didn't get
Navish
updated in
Khan,
Cricket
man.
Bus.
No one's watching it live over.
I'm
No,
watching it. So far, not yet bold. Hardik Pandya
He's
just looking
trying
at
to
him.
set fields, man. Avish Khan.
Avish is just trying to set it. Yeah, exactly.
if he sets field means he'll concede one more six.
And isn't
Uh,
it
How to
mental that we are watching the last over whilst we are still streaming?
I
oh,
mean,
yeah.
that's just the cricket
Avesh
craze
Khan
that it
is
is.
already in cricket lore for the crazy celebration and against RCB.
Oh, yeah, he took the helmet and threw it. Bro's contribution was nothing.
Two
It's like
runs,
that.
bro. Two runs.
Two
Okay,
runs.
14 of 4.
Damn,
14 or
14 of
4.
4.
अरे जल्दी डालो भाई कल सुबह पनवेल निकलना है हाँ टाइम पास हाँ ठीक है
I'm just waiting for the Hardik Pandya, like,
Bhag, bhag, bhag.
calm
प्लीज
down, king. Calm down. Hardik Pandya
I
will.
mean, he doesn't have to get someone's century off their record, so I think he won't perform.
Hardik Pandya is the most dangerous player. Most dangerous player when someone needs a century.
No, but look at Shreyas Iyer's condition. Na? His first man 97 he was stuck on 97. To be fair, that was needed because the way Ashok Singh was hitting, na, they needed those
Dot.
extra runs as a cushion.
yeah
And
Dot.
considering the factor that he said it
हाँ
himself
वन
to him to score the
What?
century, I mean, to
Yeah,
take the
dot.
game.
Very
वन
Finish.
dot.
वन
Nah,
वन
let's
वन
go,
नहीं
bro.
okay he hasn't run man now he's doing that thing again
You were
अरे
it.
यार अरे
Bro, bro,
यार
100%.
bro thinks he's MS Dhoni, bro.
अरे यार
Bro, like, since the Thala meme
Uh,
started, how many old highlights? Dot again. Two dots in a row.
Yeah, that's what he wants, bro. That's what he wants.
2 dots in a row.
Yeah, two
Game
Two
over.
dots.
sixes aren't
Game
gonna solve
over.
this game, bro. Game over.
Finish. Over, over.
What a dumbass dude, bro.
Bro didn't take single.
He didn't. He didn't take
Hardik
single.
Pandya single-handedly fucked this game. Bro, it was meant to be, okay? If he took 5 wickets, he's not going to be the star in batting as well, bro. It was meant to be.
Only one. One at a time, nothing else.
and we've won one game in 4
It's okay. That's the typical Mumbai start.
Bro was
Yeah.
laughing. Bro was laughing at
He took a
SRH
single
just
now.
now.
Second last ball, he took a single. Yeah.
Hardik.
and this
Oh,
is
bro.
reverse Thalaman
Bro, Thala, the memes of Thala is too good, man.
Bro,
nah
I don't like how the Bolejo Koyal memes aren't there this year, bro.
Who's?
what
The Thala, you know the Thala song, right? The Bolejo Koyal wala.
Bole Jo Koyal.
nah man we are fucked come on CSK can give us company tomorrow right but nah Dhoni
Oh,
is captaining so it makes sense for them to win the game it's crazy man we've got such
Don't
NPCs
worry, SRH is there this year. They'll be last.
and we've even got that NPC now man that guy Ryan Rickleton is on fraud watch
why, bro? I thought he played a good innings in that game.
nah he's on fraud watch man he looks like Odegaard
And I literally saw so many Mumbai fans praising him because he was like a Quinton de Kock region.
All the
See,
Mumbai fans were even praising getting Will Jacks, man. They were like, "Oh, we scammed RCB, man. How has RCB let him go?" And I was
Tilak
like,
Verma
"Yeah,
played a
man,
bad
let them."
innings, to be honest.
Yep,
25,
Tilak
23
Verma
balls.
single-handedly run
Shit.
rate he reduced it, bro.
Oh, we have a comment. We still have a comment, guys.
Yeah,
Don't worry,
don't
man.
worry, man. DC,
DC, was,
they actually can, man. They actually can.
DC has been my second favorite team since the takeover because that Indian core that they had, like what, 3, 4 years back was just something, man. Rahane,
दिल्ली से है
Dhawan.
बेंच
It's a funny thing. Like, if you see, like, even in football, like, even in England, the capital clubs rarely win the Champions League. Like, and
Hmm.
even in Germany, if you see, the capital club is like bad. And then even in India, but only I guess Spain, Madrid. Yeah, so they have a team that's good.
Then there is DC.
Yeah,
But
DC.
somehow RR is even worse than MI. So I'm content that at least we won't be finishing last.
At least DC reached a final, so
Bro,
they at least they can say that.
Mm,
Yeah.
only
mm,
a matter of time where RCB will find itself in the bottom half.
I mean, I think they're
It
playing
will
very.
make my prophecy come true of what
If
I said in
RC,
the last stream.
if RCB finish like in the bottom half, they'll actually be depressed. RCB fans.
They actually play at Chinnaswamy, which is their away stadium for some reason, man.
If CSK win tomorrow, also they go in Mumbai's position only, bro, which isn't like that great anyways. Because run rate is too fucked, bro, already.
Mhm.
And considering Ruturaj won't play tomorrow, we will have to see Mr. Deepak Hooda man tomorrow, which
Deepak
is
Huda, man.
which is which is worse
The
than
last
seeing
time
even.
Deepak Huda was a half decent cricketer was when he was at SRH.
Exactly, that is what
He was never a half
2016,
decent
bro.
player even at SRH.
He
Nah, man,
was
come on.
only
He was
hype.
decent, man.
Nah,
Never.
bro. The
Deepak Huda
only
is
only
hype
thing I
this
remember
time.
about Hooda is his bowling, bro. That's it.
Only
And
only time he
Deepak
played
Huda
good
had
was
that
that
beef with
Ireland.
Krunal Pandya, man. He had a
Yeah,
random beef
so
with Krunal Pandya.
both mid-ass Zimbabwe playing players for India.
No, the only time he played good in his career was when he played against Ireland in the T20s. Yeah,
See,
Ireland,
that's the level, bro.
yeah.
Like
He's
we
I think he
said,
scored a century, right? He has a century in T20 against Ireland,
who?
No, I
Who?
don't. I don't think century. I think he
or
scored
at
50
least
or
nine.
something.
man.
Wait. I think he
If you're
at
saying
least.
Sanju
Shivam
Samson,
Dubey,
then yes, that
No,
is
no,
Shivam
no, no,
Dubey
not
was
some.
a safe guy, man.
He
Shivam
at
Dubey.
least had like 70, 80 in that one match. Yeah, I remember.
And
Yeah,
you can name me
Deepak Huda and century for
what?
India against Ireland.
yeah. Let's act like it never happened, guys. Let's act like it.
Yeah, I told you he scored a
Because
century against Ireland.
if we can make even 20% of the 100 runs he made
See,
now that time for CSK, if he can make even 20 runs,
104 of 57, man. Crazy. Exactly, man.
Sanchit
Who
says
wants
want
to who
unpopular
wants
team
to
to
see
win.
a Delhi win, man? Come on, Delhi
I
cap.
honestly want to
I
see
wa-
Punjab win.
I want to see Punjab win too. Yeah.
Yep.
And
For
For
IS
imagine
the
sake, I want Punjab
imagine
to
a
win,
for
but
the
team with
hmm.
the initials
for
PBKS,
the love
man.
of
Come on.
Preeti Zinta.
It
For
sounds like
the
a disease.
Oi, not this guy. Sushit, not this guy, bro.
Nice, that guy again, man. Get him gone.
But for the love of Preeti Zinta, PBK should win.
Yeah,
Wow,
bro.
wow. Cutie. Even
she's been
that
making aloo
SRH
paratha
owner,
for her
that
team.
Kavya Maran, man, get her
Huh.
gone. She pisses me off.
Her and her Chudgai Guru recreations every week, bro.
What did Kavi Akka do to you guys? What did she do?
Get her gone, man.
Yeah, man,
Apart
she's irritating as
apart
hell.
from that auctions hype that she gives us, nothing to be honest.
She starts crying for one
Damn,
loss
bro.
for no reason.
Damn.
One six happens, she starts crying.
And
Hmm.
then people on the internet,
Imagine if Josh Kroenke started crying for every every time Arsenal broke his heart. He'll only be seen crying. Imagine Josh Kroenke in the stands like Kavya for the West Ham match. He would be probably wheeling on the floor. Yeah.
I
Man,
am going to
Anuj,
end the stream
it
before it
isn't a
becomes
safe
18
space.
plus.
We should be ending the stream.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Suchit,
before we
Tilak
wrap up
Verma
the
is from
stream,
Vizag. Why don't you make hair like Tilak Verma?
Guntur,
He's
Guntur.
gonna
Ah,
go to Turkey soon, that's why, bro.
but make
Nitish
same
is
hair
from
like
Vizag.
him. Why can't you do like
Bro,
hair like
it's fine, bro.
Tilak Verma?
Part you
Turkey
next
soon,
week.
guys. Bro,
Anyways,
if you have the balls, bro, come on DMs, bro, whoever you are.
any final words from the stream? We'll wait for like 10 seconds because it's kind of awkward. But yeah,
Hopefully we beat Everton's low block. And
Yes.
hopefully no injuries, man.
we didn't even
Said
talk
it
about the
last time,
Everton
bro.
game, guys. We didn't
We
even
should
talk about the
lose.
Everton
We should
game.
lose to Everton. Yeah.
Like, I think Sanjay even put this out. Starting 11 against Everton, White needs minutes as a sub. Arteta's not giving him his first start in ages against Madrid. See,
Yeah,
If he's gonna play against Madrid, he will get some minutes against Everton for sure. Yeah.
100%. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
the Everton game is a huge indicator of what is going to be the difference between Madrid and Madrid.
3-1. Yeah.
Everton,
3-1.
No, 3-1 Arsenal. Oh.
3-1, man. We are scoring 3. Right.
I think 1-0 to Arsenal.
Yeah. That's boring. Yeah.
I think with Saka, do you think Saka starts though? I think Saka starts.
Yeah.
I don't think he starts. I don't think he starts.
I can see him starting and then getting subbed off at 60, 70 minutes.
You
Yeah.
think?
Hmm.
Okay. Okay. It's been 2.5 hours. The crowd is increasing at Starbucks too. It's getting very noisy.
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, no, nothing like that. I have to say.
Starbucks.
Anyways, thank you so much, guys. Keep liking, keep subscribing, and keep commenting as well as we're trying to reach 600 subscribers soon. Any final words from the panel?
No, guys.
Hala Madrid.
You.
So, geez, why? Okay.
And
Yeah. Do join. Please that have an only Arsenal stream regarding the Madrid game. Do hop in. Okay. Till we see you guys soon. Till then, good morning, good evening, good night, wherever you want. Peace. Bye
Bye.
bye.